Hey, folks. Let's not waste any time with a dumbass intro this time, huh? Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. And howdy to you. Let's call the serfs. I love calling people. Unironically, I love directly talking to people rather than vague posting back and forth on Twitter. This is infinitely preferable. Hey! Here, hold on. Wait. There we go. I had my system sound muted. Tell chat hello.
Hello, Chad. I am Lance, one half of the Surfs. You can, should I just do the bougie thing? You can check us out at youtube.com/thesurfstv or twitch.tv/thesurfstv.
Damn
That's where you'll
fucking
find
right you
us.
can. You can do all of that shit and more. But don't get too attached to Twitch. I'm still not allowed there. Is your wait, I've always wondered, is your real actual human being name Lance? Or
It is, yes.
that's fucking radical.
That would be a weird moniker to go around with, right?
That's so I mean,
There
I
are
don't
some
fucking
who call me Lance.
I mean, it's rad. Like, I don't know. I like, what's more likely to me? Some like maybe one day, like you were 12 on a hiking trip and you skewered a fucking boar with a stick and you got the nickname, or your parents looked at this like fucking bloated ass baby, blood covering the table, and they were like, "We're naming that. We're naming this fucker Broadsword." No, wait, I got another one. It's a really fucking good name. I'm jealous.
Well, you know what my parents were originally going to call me was Zeus, and then my grandma interjected and was like, "You do that, he's going to get beat up every single day." And I
They
mean, she wasn't far off. Lance wasn't that much better, but yeah, the original name Zeus was
they
not
toned it
preferable.
down for you.
They
Damn.
they, they toned it down.
That's the secret. If you're a parent and you want to name your kid some badass shit, you have to do it in another language, not English,
Hmm.
okay? So no one's going to like
Yeah.
look at them. But they know, the kid knows.
Hmm.
Um how the fuck are you doing today, Lance?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a wee bit nervous. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if I'm in the midst of a Vosh eviscerating. I don't know what to expect, to be honest.
I watched a lot of your stream. I wasn't able to catch all of it. There was a portion
Hmm.
in the middle I got. I don't even know what interrupted me. It felt pressing at the time, but
Hmm.
I was able to catch most of it, and I think that I have a pretty substantial understanding of your broader response to what I said. And I'm not interested in like fucking debating you or anything. Honestly, I'm happy to talk to you. Um,
Okay.
because there are things I would love to have conversations with more people on the left,
Hmm.
and it's really difficult for me to do so because of my notoriety.
Hmm.
Talking to someone directly is infinitely more productive than like sending back and forth Twitter threads, and you
Hmm.
know it's a preferable format.
And we're both getting social capital right now too.
Yeah, exactly. And we're making some fucking dollary dues. Phenomenal process, really. Or well, I am. It's social capital both ways. I make dollary dues, streaming, what have you. Um, so of all of the bread, so I started all of this out with like a really high opinion of BreadTube. You know,
Okay.
like 8 9 months ago when I first started
Hmm.
streaming, I thought like, wow, these guys are all pretty cool and great and smart. I'm a little
Hmm.
edgier than them. That's okay. Look, I just want to bring my brand of left leaning thought to all of this, my aesthetic, and maybe that'll bring over more people. And I think
Hmm.
that at this point, I now have a lower opinion of
Hmm.
BreadTube than I thought possible. I think they're like almost in the ballpark of like the skeptic community back in 2016 in
Do you
in
are
my
you talking about
mind.
specific individuals, or are you talking about the Reddit thread itself?
Oh, I mean, I could just like start naming bread tubers, but I mean, in the broader sense, breadtube is
Hmm.
in the community of left-leaning content creators on
Hmm.
YouTube who focus on progressive content. So
Sure.
distinguished from like the more, like radically class reductionist left-leaning people on YouTube,
Hmm.
who I
Yeah,
wouldn't
sure.
consider part of breadtube.
I know, but like a lot of people who are quote unquote in BreadTube, I mean, some people like associate us with being in BreadTube, usually don't themselves identify as like I am a BreadTuber, right? Like I am for a lot of leftist causes. Both me and my partner Dave, we're socialists. We're trying to push for an anti-capitalist or post-capitalist society,
Mhm.
obviously. But at the same time, like I don't, I just don't do labels, man. Like it's not just something like that, but it's like ultimately, I find that Reddit thread attacks us a lot sometimes. Like there's times when
The
I'll be
subreddit or a
surprised at
specific thread?
the subreddit, the BreadTube is subreddit. Like I mean, BreadTube for anyone who doesn't know, because the term has kind of become ubiquitous with all these kind of lefty content creators. But it started out as a Reddit subthread, right? It was a small Reddit subthread that has exploded to become like I think it's at 70,000 members subreddit now. But that's where the whole BreadTube collective identity came from.
I agree. It's not a particularly useful label. Generally, diversification is really effective for political advocacy. You don't want to feel like everyone is grouped together into these like these distinct segments where one person has an opinion and they all more or less share it, so you can write them all off if you disagree with one, because it makes it
Mm,
difficult to get people to appreciate the nuance and difference between people's takes. Um,
sure.
so I mean I agree. It's not a particularly useful label, but generally when
Mm,
people talk about BreadTube, like we kind of know what content creators they're referring to. The
sure.
reason
Yeah, yeah.
the reason I open with that is because you're the to my knowledge, apart from people like Contra or Three Arrows or H Bomber Guy, like really larger, big, more successful ones, I think
Mhm.
you're the only one I know who I don't think has done some dumbass shit that has made me lose respect
Well,
for
we're
them.
pretty new, so give us time.
Again, I know, fair, room to grow. I mean, now, if now there are probably people I'm missing out. I'm sure there are tons of really good people out there who I haven't that I don't have any problems with whatsoever. But broadly speaking,
So when you say
um,
dumb shit, what do you mean? Like cancelable shit? Like we dropped a gamer word somewhere, or
um,
what are we talking about?
I mean, it's
Like,
kind of the same problem with me specifically. That's kind
okay.
of the lens through which I get to deal with my problems with everyone else's content. I would love to be able to sit back and go like, I disagree with this take or that take, but usually when I
Hmm.
disagree with someone on BreadTube, it's more like they think I'm like a rapist reactionary grifter who's only
Hmm.
interested in like profiteering off of a lack of edgy reactionary leftist streamers or something like that.
Hmm.
It makes it difficult to engage with their content, you know?
Yeah. Well, whew, okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. I don't know where you want to start with that. Obviously, like I don't want to come on here and just spend an hour saying here's all the things that I find problematic about what you've done in the past, because I am not. I hate the idea of being someone who even gets to judge people on any kind of accounts, right? Like who the fuck am I? Who the fuck are any of us? Like I agree. Those were the parts of your video that I agreed with. I don't think that there should be particular gatekeepers, but at the same time, I guess just by virtue of having an audience, you become a gatekeeper, right? Like maybe it's naive of me to say like I'm not a gatekeeper or something of that effect.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, that's just a consequence of us having an audience. Anytime we say anything negative about anyone, it's going to influence people's opinions.
mhm. Um, I mean, do you know our history? Like, what, like when you say we haven't done anything wrong, we got canceled or shut down altogether in April on April Fools. Someone shut down, and I think it was an alt right attack because we made some videos on Joe Rogan, and then we made some videos on PewDiePie, and then we suddenly got this mass flagging on our YouTube channel, and that got us shut down. And that's how we actually got discovered by most people, is because there was this campaign to try and, uh, resurrect us. We got risen like a phoenix.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was participating in it at the time. I mean,
Oh, okay,
just as a
cool.
regular person, I didn't have a channel at that point. I
Hmm.
wasn't familiar with your content prior to that point too, but I saw what happened. It was obviously some sort of some mass flagging, nonsense.
Yeah.
And I was delighted to see the positive reception you received afterwards.
Mhm.
Obviously, the reciprocal treatment on my end got a little bit more complicated, but I don't
Of which we were a part too.
I don't fault you for that in the slightest. I understand how difficult it is to like maneuver social capital in these spaces.
Mhm. Um, so, well, okay. So that being said, so you're saying that we're the only ones who haven't fucked up,
Well,
yet.
you're fun to talk to, and you seem like a nice, positive person every time I see you on stream, which is why I wanted to talk with you about this because I'm interested in your take, and
Hmm.
I can't have this conversation on Twitter. It's not possible for me to do so.
Hmm.
Very few
Hmm.
people are willing to speak to me. So, do you, broadly speaking, agree there might be problems with how the left online in the English speaking world, let's just specify that because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
only
of
speak
course.
English. Do you think there might be problems with how it engages in advocacy, problems with self-crit, like there might be issues worth addressing in a pretty substantial way?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's we're not this like amorphous blob of like I'm constantly surprised at how much unity there is, considering how much people disagree fundamentally, right? Especially if you're talking about something like a revolution, you're talking about something that outside of much more violent, bloody revolutions, we're talking about things like essentially we're trying to win in the hearts and minds of people, and in large part we're doing it online as well, right? So yes, there's going to be massive disagreements between groups, and there is a huge amount of problems within that, and that's like I said when I was going through your video, I think those are the parts of your video that I agree with, right? I don't know if I agree with. I mean, well, we can unpack that in a bit with the oversensitive aspects of it. I think there are members of marginalized communities that have a right to be sensitive. I mean, I come at this and I can't speak for you, but I come at this from an incredibly privileged position, right? Like, I'm a cishet, I'm white, I'm male. I have every noticeable advantage when it comes to, all my privileges. So yeah, I'm not going to be as offended by certain jokes or certain stuff that other people are. But I'm also not part of, say, a community that has suicide rates that are almost at the 50 percentile, right? So
Yeah.
in
Or
that
yeah,
case,
like attempted. Yeah, no, it's I
I get why they might not be, as sensitive to. Sorry, they might be way more sensitive when it comes to certain jokes, when it comes to, like, analysis of stone toss cartoons or stuff like that. Like, I get why they would be very upset at those kind of things.
I don't have necessarily a problem with sensitivity as a concept. So to clarify, because sensitivity has like fucking 18 different meanings. You know, you can be
Hmm.
sensitive in the sense that you like physically feel things easily, or sensitive in the sense that you're receptive to other people's feelings. I mean sensitive in the sense of vulnerable to being hurt. You know,
Right.
which I think that's the definition you were using here too, because that's obviously
Hmm.
what I'm complaining
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I don't have a problem with sensitivity as a concept at all, and I do recognize that there are communities for whom the sensitivity is quite warranted. The trauma associated, I think, with the
Hmm.
minority experience in basically the entirety of the developed world is pretty
Sure.
is pretty substantial. I wouldn't fault someone for that. My issue, I think, is when that sensitivity or vulnerability becomes
Hmm.
characteristic of our rhetorical and advocacy strategies. So I
Hmm.
think that nurturing and caring for and protecting sensitive people is a really important part of what we do. It's like
Hmm.
literally life saving. But at the same
Hmm.
time, it can get in the way of other things, like developing the strategies that help us reach out to broader groups of people and sort
Hmm.
of pull them away from the alt right pipeline. And that's where I have an issue because I think the left is really oriented towards that culture of compassion
Yeah.
and very very much detached from a culture of ruthless pragmatic praxis, and we need
Yeah.
that for the compassion to last much longer than a few more election cycles.
Yeah. Okay. So who are in these camps? Is it like you and Pig Puncher who are kind of like in these isolated groups of becoming the edge lords of the left?
Pig Puncher and I do very similar things. We're also our audiences do overlap with to some extent with Destiny's, though obviously the distinction there being that Destiny is a liberal. So,
Hmm.
that's a pretty huge disconnect.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the
But you
most
guys
part,
came from the school of Destiny kind of thing, right?
oh
The
totally.
like.
I was a
Yeah.
fan of Destiny's for a literal decade.
Hmm.
From 14 to 24, or no,
Hmm.
15 to 25.
Hmm.
Just 100%. And I disagree with him on a ton of stuff, but I think his rhetorical techniques are pretty valuable, and
Hmm.
I want to see those brought over.
So as like, and I agree, because I said this in my video. I don't know if you got to that part where I was, talking about you. I said, I think that there is something to be said about what you do and about what you and Pig Puncher do, for example, because I agree with you. There is a big problem with the alt right pipeline, and you do things that I could not do. All right. You serve a function that I cannot do. Maybe I'm a little bit dirtbag myself, but I usually just go after right wing reactionaries. That's what I find cathartic. That's what I find pleasurable. So that's why I do that. Right. At the same time, I'm also a little bit in the SJW camp because I don't. Uh, openly use. I don't know if you use the N word. You probably use, like,
I
the R
said it
word or
like
other
once on
slurs.
stream while arguing with Nazis, but it was to shut them up. I think I
Okay.
generally try not to. Listen, I may have listen. Okay, the Joker movie came out recently. All right, we're all a
Yeah.
little bit on edge. We all want to say it. Um, it's difficult times for you to be asking that.
But all that being said, like, uh, that's the thing I have a problem with, like, because I've always wanted to say this both to you and to Pig Puncher. Can you not be edgy? Can you still not be edgy and not have to use language that directly marginalizes people at the same time? Can we not have it both ways?
I think, well, for us specifically, I think that would invalidate a lot of the point. My goal is to show people that you can be like me and still be a leftist. I think there are a
Hmm.
lot of people who grow up online in a mostly apolitical space, or they think it's
Hmm.
apolitical. Nothing is apolitical, but they think it's
Right.
apolitical, and they get a little edgy. They get a little irreverent, and maybe they
Hmm.
drop some gamer words now and again. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but they do it in a non-hateful context usually. A lot of lefties forget
Hmm.
that's even possible. And
Right.
then these people eventually grow up and realize there's this giant political cultural war going on. And nowadays, this is happening younger and younger. I had something like 12-year-olds who are like, yeah, I'm an alt-righter. Like, what the fuck? Um, it's crazy. And
Yeah.
when they and if they look to the right, they will see a glut of content creators who are just
Mhm,
like them. They just
mhm,
extrapolate some of that edginess into political positions. So you have
mhm,
people like the Quartering who are edgy and making fun of the oversensitive Tumblrite SJWs. And
yep,
now and again, like, yeah, trans people are kind of gross, but all of it sort
mhm,
of is extrapolated naturally. It all feels cohesive to what these people grow up on. And this is a very large group of people. If you look to the
mhm,
left, though, we might as well be monks to these people.
mhm,
The way our culture is like be very careful with your language and make sure not to use any microaggressions. Like, obviously, a lot of this is a caricature, but it's what a lot of people see, and it makes them feel like there's no way for them to be themselves if they move leftward. So of course they gravitate right. I think
mhm,
that I think that I straddle a line where my performative edginess is genuine enough because I am edgy. I'm not like making. This is by no means a character. I act exactly the same off stream. It,
sure.
it's far enough over the line that I can appeal to edgy reactionaries who are like, wow, never seen a leftist like that, and maybe bring them over.
Mhm,
But it is tempered enough by progressive politics that I'm never actually, at least I hope I don't, marginalizing or hurting the people in my community or contributing to really bad thought processes like
mhm.
transphobia or racism. And it's a hard line to
And
walk, but I try my best.
right, and what if it did though?
I would make the argument if I had to say that I was doing that, that I have done infinitely more good and have the capacity to do more good by reaching out to an audience of, well, I can't reach all of them, literally millions of people who the
Mhm,
left presently isn't really capable of accommodating. I think I do far more good by reaching out to them than I could by like occasionally saying some like harmful or edgy stuff. Because if I do that, and I have done that, when that
mhm,
happens, usually those people just drop me and move
mhm,
further left. And if
mhm.
that's the case, I've done my job. I hurt your
Right,
feelings. I'm really sorry, but I'm moving people over. And if you're hurt by me now, you can go to people who are more orthodox. And I've done it. I've de-radicalized. I've served my purpose.
right. So if that's the case, then wouldn't it have to also be, I guess, an acceptable risk that you'll also be a little bit alienated in the process? Like this is your cross to bear in that situation. And I
Yeah.
know it makes you
Oh, sorry.
sad that you're obviously isolated from other aspects of the left, but maybe that's just going to be the price for you serving that purpose.
I knew that a degree of alienation was inevitable, but I didn't expect it
Hmm.
to be this bad faith. A lot of it is really stupid. I think there are a lot of really decent criticisms you can come up with my behavior. There are forms of rhetoric I engage in that are frankly unproductive. It's a learning process, and I try my best. And I have gotten better than I was 4 6 months ago. A lot of the criticisms I see from the left, though, are as bad as and as delusional as the criticisms I get from the far right. Either flat out falsehoods, like literally just rumor mill gossip, or content creators who will be as uncharitable to me as you could like conceivably be without flat out lying. And that really bothers me.
Hmm.
Tempered dislike, I can deal with that all day. But outward
Hmm.
hostile bad faith aggression, that
Hmm.
really bugs me because I feel
Hmm.
like I'm shoring up a weakness the online. I'm not trying to be self-important, but I'm making an effort to shore up a weakness the online left has had for a while. And I think that process, even if it's not the cleanest job, should be shown at least some degree of credence. I mean,
Hmm.
otherwise, it's not really being given the attention it deserves.
Hmm. Yeah, but I mean that's where it gets difficult for me. Like, so I if I was to have, in my opinion, a good faith criticism of you, okay, and
Mhm.
this will be one of the only ones I'll levy, is that when that whole thing was going down with the trans jokes that you made, that one
The
particular
thought
trans.
slime meltdown stream,
I don't. Oh no, no, I wasn't talking about that. Oh yeah, maybe I can talk about that as well.
the Twitter tweets. That's
I was
that's the
actually
big. That's the big three. They've got the transphobic Twitter tweet
sure,
things. We've got the poppy
sure,
drama, and we've got the thought slime
sure.
stream, and those are the big
Okay, so
three.
the transphobic tweet. I'll start with that one first. Okay,
Mhm.
I knew in my heart of hearts, because I had seen some of your work and I'd seen your tweet. I know that you're not transphobic. Okay, and I know that you do a lot of active work to try and help people in the trans community. And I can't say this because I don't know the statistics, but I'm guessing a huge amount of your fan base, right? A large amount of them are probably trans as well.
I've got a
I mean,
pretty
just
huge trans fan base, yeah.
yes. Okay. So I knew when you made that joke, I was like, he's not being transphobic. But I also could see anyone who would read that joke from first glance. If you saw that joke on Twitter, my first thing would be like, this marginalizes trans people because of how it's worded. Like that's just the first impression I would get from seeing it, just in general. And it's out there, it's in the ether, it goes viral. You have a huge platform. Again, you're a controversial figure. So that's how I see this whole thing suddenly explode and blow up from there, right? At which point my go-to for me as a person, maybe this is just by virtue of being Canadian, because I over apologize for everything, is probably to come out and be like, you know what, I understood how this probably marginalized people, and I'm sorry, and that wasn't my intent, right? Rather than double down and do the whole, I help trans people, how could you not see it that way?
I mean, this is one of those things where it's really, really difficult for me to address the criticism in an honest way. And it's
Hmm.
because so this is something that I've dealt with in other forms of drama. If you apologize for any misbehavior or impropriety,
Sure.
you implicitly validate everything that was said from people who are asking for an apology from you. So for instance, like in a more domestic scenario, right? Like if you fucked up and like knocked a vase over, but also like your brother lit the curtain on fire and your parents
Hmm.
are freaking out at you and you specifically over it, if you
Hmm.
apologize, you're implicitly accepting responsibility for everything. And I didn't want to do that because a lot of people came in and said some really dumb shit. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah.
And I recognize, of course, that that is a
Hmm.
consequence of being a public figure, but
Hmm.
it does bother me, and it still bothers me that
Hmm.
prior to that tweet, I
Hmm.
had no on record basis for even accusations of transphobia.
Right.
Like it was all positive. Like there wasn't even like an argument to be made for negative, and all it took was that tweet
Hmm.
and literally hundreds of like Picard anime avatars on Twitter were accusing me of being a reactionary transphobic grifter. And I would
Sure.
make the argument that even if my original tweet was bad,
Hmm.
and it is, and I'm not denying that, a
Sure.
community in which that is the reaction a person receives for something like
Hmm.
that after a precedent of nothing but good, that's a really toxic culture. And it bugs me because I feel like I'm getting gaslit when I talk about it. Nobody else
Hmm.
seems to want to address it. Like that happens, and ContraPoints gets harassed off Twitter, and there are like
Hmm.
tons of people. If you just search the names of like any popular bread tuber, there are people like seething with anger at how they're not progressive enough. And there are a
Hmm.
lot of them. And anytime I want to talk about these people who are unquestionably harming the left, I get told like, "Oh, I'm just reiterating reactionary propaganda. Oh, I'm just reiterating the Tumblr SJW propaganda." It's
Hmm.
frustrating, and I mishandled it the first time. I wanted to handle it better the next time, which was the Thought Slime drama, and that didn't go well either. And I think
Okay.
I did okay with the videos that I released a few days ago, and hopefully that's all I have to say on the subject. I think I did it in a mostly positive way.
I think that's where you and me would fundamentally disagree then, where it comes to, you can't, if by apologizing you are validating the arguments as a whole of everything that's been levied against you. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you can apologize, and you can apologize on your own terms for anything. I do it constantly on my stream. I have accidentally misgendered people, and I know that's not as egregious or as big a thing, right? But I've accidentally misgendered people, and immediately they start calling me out. They're like, they are they them. It's not she her. And so like I'll have to do, like, I'm not the Pope, I'm not infallible, I'm very sorry, like I apologize for misgendering them. It wasn't my intent, right? I wasn't trying to do that as a power move or something like that, but like I have to come to terms with the fact that I just did this.
I mean, if 80% of the criticism you were getting for that misgendering was wildly bad faith, people accusing
Hmm.
you of being like a reactionary bigot and a grifter
Hmm.
who doesn't care about trans issues and called them whatever pronoun they didn't want to be called by because you secretly think they're subhuman, don't you
Sure.
think you might feel a little bit weird about capitulating and not even acknowledging those elements of the community?
But then I would apologize on my own terms. I would be like, I'm going to apologize because I misgendered this person. That's where this ends. And for everyone else who's in bad faith saying all this like vile and toxic shit, that's your own. That's a you problem, to quote Ben Shapiro, right? That's not a me problem
I
in
mean,
this
it is
situation.
it is an us problem because they're part of our broader political movement, and I think they're toxic and they make it much more difficult to do the job that we need to do than we should. But no, I don't disagree. It's possible to make targeted apologies. You could say something like, "And to those offended by the tweet, I apologize. While I disagree with the characterization that I am a reactionary or that the tweet was rooted in
Hmm.
transphobic thought, I nonetheless believe it was harmful. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's probably something that I would do if I made that same mistake today. That was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah. And sorry, what's the other one?
It's
There's
thought
three things that I
slime.
can't.
That one was a lot worse. I stand by most of the points I made. I just made him too angry and with a little bit too much spice. I topped it off a little bit. Too much oregano, Parmesan. It's a little bit too much.
Yeah, I can't remember fully what that war was about. I mean, I would come to this discussion fully saying that like I'm friends with Aslam. Like I also like really love his work. So
I
like
wouldn't
I don't know if
expect you
I'd
to
be.
compromise any of your. Again, that's one of the other issues. It's that anytime anyone implicitly accepts a criticism of the broader behavior in this community, that means they're
Hmm.
compromising the relationships they have with other people in that community. It's one of the
Hmm.
reasons why large integrated communities stagnate intellectually. It's really
Hmm.
difficult to move forward as a group, so everyone gets held behind by the like laggiest person.
Hmm.
One of the
Well,
reasons why
that's
I don't like
that's my
RedTube.
Yeah, well, that's one of my reasons for coming on here and wanting to talk to you about these kind of things. Though, is that like, I think if you are trying to do this important work that you're talking about, and I again agree, I think it is important that someone or there is people out there who can pull people from this pipeline, from this alt right pipeline. Because it's one of the things I talk about constantly, Flosh. I completely agree with you that it not only exists, that it is weaponized and it is aggressive, and it's something that needs to be pushed back again. So I think individuals like yourself or Pig Puncher for that other point can serve an important tool in helping to de-radicalize youth in this respect. I just think that at the same time it doesn't mean that like is part of being edgy mean that you have to be A, infallible, or B, you have to suddenly use some of the same rhetoric of the people that you're actually actively working against, kind of thing, right?
Well, what kind of rhetoric?
Well, okay, if for the language thing, right? Like I don't know how edgy you guys say when you say like we need to use edgy humor. Like I just watched I keep using that word because I just watched Pig Puncher's video recently where he's like, you need me on the left, I'm important. You need edgy boys who can make this kind of, these kind of humors and stuff. Um how much of the language that you both use, I guess, is necessary to do that? Like for the anti-recruiting process.
Well, I don't know what you mean by language, because an edgy joke, like, there's nothing inherently reactionary about edgy humor. Chapo Trap House, the subreddit, is pretty woke scoldy, and they're nonetheless pretty edgy, joking constantly about death and performative cruelty. And I mean, it's a really big subreddit, so it obviously attracts a lot of people.
Are they like I've never been in the subreddit. Like how
They're
woke
very
scoldy
it's
is it?
very progressive. They're like
Okay.
100%. It's all like trans rights, NB rights. No one criticizes the sensitive left there. They're
Hmm.
probably much more sensitive than I am, but they're the ones who coined the term dirtbag left. That's
Yeah.
what I
Oh
thought it
yeah.
would get associated with. A little
Hmm.
cruel, a little edgy, still progressive, but a lot of people
Hmm.
think it means, or I don't. I mean, words don't have set definitions. A lot of people say it means like a full-on reactionary class reductionist leftist, and that's definitely
Hmm.
not what I want to be associated with.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone does. Well, okay. So don't make me like straw man you or put words in your mouth. Like what do you see as acceptable for you operating within what you have to do to get the job done?
Okay, so there's some obvious things. Performative cruelty is a must. This is
Hmm.
one of the. I mean, this is why. This is one of the reasons why the right has a huge one up on us. People like to laugh. Most people like to laugh. Okay, so this is a very popular position anywhere outside the very far sensitive left. People like
Hmm.
laughing at other people being hurt.
Hmm.
Cruelty is the point, and that's whether or not you think that's a good or a bad thing. Like that drives views. That drives interest. And
Hmm.
I think that you can, and most of the time when people do that, they're channeling against reactionaries. Like Steven Crowder will make a joke about like the fucking refugee seekers at the border or something, and he'll have
Sure.
like the little
It's punching
video.
down basically.
Exactly, yeah, the little like the
Yeah.
Hispanic guy with the lollipop, like mi amor, like wait, that's
Hmm.
Italian, but you get. I'm sure you've seen that clip. It's
Sure.
really fucking bad. But you can be cruel in lots of sorts of ways. I call people fucking brainlets and smooth brains all the
Hmm.
time, always on the right. I tell people shit. I tell people to kill themselves. I
Hmm.
try and direct this pretty exclusively against the right. Um,
Yeah.
for the most part. So the performative cruelty, it drives engagement and it gets people interested. And as grifty as that
Hmm.
sounds, if it's popular, that means it brings people over. And if it brings people over, that's more people I have the chance to de-radicalize. And that's all I care about. But in
Hmm.
terms of like using their language, I say faggot sometimes, but I'm gay. So
Mm.
I feel like I have plausible deniability there, and I usually say
Mhm.
it while referring to myself. That's probably not
Are
too
you
bad.
gay, bi, or have you always identified that way?
I'm actually pan, gay in the
Okay.
in the queer sense, but you know, it's
But when you were growing up, were you mostly cishet in your presentation and in your sexuality?
yeah, and I still am. So I don't have the like the word was used against me defense or anything. I more rely on the consequentialist. Nobody could watch my content and believe I'm actually leveraging harm against queer people, considering that I
Yeah, yeah,
defend
no,
them
of
like
course. But
90%.
then okay, so in that specific example, because as someone too, like I think, and this is kind of something funny you talk about, but I think as we get older and we learn about how there's toxic masculinity, and we were kind of raised to think of like gays being an evil thing and all that kind of stuff, and I was called F slurs growing up and all that kind of thing. Even if I came out now and said like I'm more openly bisexual because I understand sexuality more, I still grew up with the privilege, for example, of being cishet and the privilege of not being beat up or called like the F slur, uh, and actually having to do with my sexuality, right? Like I was beat up
I
and
would never disagree with that. I would never try and play like pity points like, oh, I can use the word because I was blah blah. The
mhm,
a lot of this is something that I try and do it. I think I do it really well, but it's hard to
mhm,
talk about because people will say like, oh, you're saying it's just a joke. One thing I really
mhm,
like to do is I try and play a caricature of masculinity. I'm
sure,
you know what I look like. Like I'm obviously a fairly mask presenting dude, but a lot of the
mhm,
posturing that I do is done with the specific intent of hyperbolizing the idealized masculine parable and then sort
mhm.
of satirizing it with the. It's kind of like the Virgin versus Chad. You know that meme, the
Of
Virgin.
course, yeah, no, I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's a great, and you know the original one because lately when people do the Virgin versus Chad meme, the Chad is just the good thing and the Virgin
Hmm.
is the bad thing. But in the original one, the Virgin was supposed to be the relatable one, and the
Yeah,
Chad was supposed to be so masculine and confident that they
mhm,
actually came off looking like a fucking lunatic.
yeah,
That's what I think that was a brilliant satirization of masculine ideal, and I
mhm,
try to do that. One of the ways in which I do that sometimes is by like over performatively, like as a caricature, like like yeah, so I'm such a fucking faggot, you know, and I try and posture with it, and it's obviously difficult to do ad libbed because it's usually contextual, but
sure,
I always make an effort to not do it in a way that anyone,
mhm,
even a new watcher, could watch and interpret it as me actually hating gay people. You know?
mhm, mhm. And so,
It's
so
the
that
idea.
entire idea of like, you're kind of faux red pilling people or whatever the opposite is of the red pill, as like you're using the whole like I am what a man should be, I'm alpha as kind of like the context for the joke.
It's the oil for the pill. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Exactly. It
okay,
makes it easier. I can't tell you because because I spend a lot of time in right leaning communities. I apologize by the way if I'm ranting or talking over you or anything. I don't
no,
mean
you're
to.
not. No, no, you're going
Um,
once.
I spend a lot of time in right leaning communities. I consider it research. Like, I'm doing a safari.
Sure.
And these people are of course insane, but they're also disgusted by the
Mm-hmm.
femininity. This is why the soy meme comes up so much, and that's how they
Mm-hmm.
talk about a lot of bread tubers.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, Peter Coffin, despite being M, because Peter Coffin uses a beard and stuff, like varying people get it to varying extents, but it's a way for them to disregard the opinions of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like, okay, fine. If we're playing aesthetics, then fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big. I'll get jacked. I'm currently in the process of getting yoked. We're working on it. Okay, it's a work in progress. I'll
Sure.
come in here. I'll use hyperbolic masculine language, and then when they
Mm-hmm.
get used to that, like, oh yeah, finally a leftist I can respect, then maybe they can sit down for some of the more analytical stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten emails from people being like, I'd never seen a leftist act like you. At first, I thought finally like a not soy cucked one or whatever, and now 2 or 3 months later, thank you for helping me out of the alt right pipeline. And it's really, I think it's effective. I guess there's no hard data on it. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing. I would like to know hard data on this because when you say like, if I do things that maybe uh, didn't come across as having the best intent or something like that, but at the end of the day, if it has an outcome that is beneficial, do you have any idea on how much do you weigh that, the pros and cons between how many people you convert versus
I
maybe people that are marginalized in the process?
I get I mean, I so in terms of like harm versus harm reduction, I get the emails. People email me or message me being like, "Holy shit, thank you so much," or "You've shown me a new way of thinking." I've probably gotten
Hmm.
hundreds of those, but that's not represent like you like. There's no way I can't extrapolate that to like a broader population. I have no idea what like hidden variables or like what selection bias is taking place there.
Hmm.
There are also people who've been upset by what I've done. Obviously, quite a few of them, though I think many of them have gotten upset via a second party. Most of the people who talk shit about me when I see the Twitter threads, I have the feeling haven't watched my content that much. They mostly just seen the rumor mill. In terms of the direct harm versus benefit, I would honestly say, and this sounds callous, but I guess I just don't really care much about the harm because I know that when I harm those people, it's because those are the more sensitive elements of my community. And when I do that, they move further left, not further right. And I would rather engage in a process that risks throwing people further left than maybe, which is fine, I don't care,
Mm-hmm.
but can include many more.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would like stay with the tactics the left is currently used, not risk offending or hurting anyone's feelings at the cost of alienating potentially millions of people who could otherwise be reached. Um,
Sure.
and
And
maybe
I
I'll
mean,
reach that equilibrium someday, you know?
and again, by doing so, though, by virtue of doing so, you are going to alienate yourself. You're going to create this bubble. And I know it makes you sad, and it makes me sad that it makes you sad, but that's going to be
I
just the
just want good
byproduct.
faith criticism, and it shouldn't be. I'm not asking much of people when I say they should act in good faith. It's fine to dislike me. I'm not like a child. What bothers me is when people I mean, you know, I act childish sometimes, but when people dislike me, I just like it to be based in like actual good arguments. Most of the
Hmm.
time I just see like really like bad misleading ad homs, and sometimes
Hmm.
I see like really bad faith interpretations. I think Jack Saint has done that quite a few times in the past. Arguing in bad faith is something the left has more of an issue with than I thought originally. I mean, you were there. You don't have to say anything, but you were there for that conversation between Destiny and Peter Coffin.
Yeah, I was in the call.
Yeah. I mean, you were like actually feet on the ground there, and
Yeah,
whoo boy,
yeah.
I know that making video essays is important, but it's also really important to be able to substantiate one's ideas,
Hmm.
like in
Okay, so what I'll say to
confrontation.
that is I think different, like, okay, so the problem there, and this was my fault, was that I was the one who set up that phone call, all right? And I think, and I've already said to you, both in, my response to you and in this conversation right now, I think, different people have different abilities. Some people can do multiple things. You are really, really good at debating and, I guess, de-radicalizing people who are on this alt-right pipeline, right? Some other people are really, really good at making video essays. Some people might be good at doing both. Some people might be only good at doing one of those two things, right? um, I think, though, but that one of the things about having this idea of collectivism, this idea of leftism, this idea of solidarity, of camaraderie, is that we should be doing each to the best of our abilities, right? And receiving according to our needs. I mean, that is ideally what we're trying to do.
No, I agree. I don't think everyone needs to be a debate god. I just think it'd be nice if the majority of leftist content creators weren't engaging in like really blatant dishonesty when they shit talk to me.
Hmm.
Because my ability, because you say like what I do will necessitate like some pushback. I'm fine with that. If some people
Hmm.
are like, hey, Vosh took it too far last night, hey, Vosh was kind of a fucking asshole, hey, Vosh just told his entire chat to kill himself, I take it on the shoulder. I do these things, you know? So
Hmm.
trying to work and telling chat to kill themselves. Be pretty impressed if I caused a fucking 2,000 person mass suicide, but you know, you never know. Maybe one day. But I can take those criticisms and I can learn from them because I want to improve myself. But when the vast majority of the criticisms that I get from people on the left are more just performatively denouncing me than they are like meaningfully addressing anything that I say, when they seem completely detached from reality, not only can I not learn from those things, but it hurts my ability to do my thing as well. I never come in between other people's on the left and their ability to do their video essays or whatever. Even when I strongly disagree with somebody, like Thought Slime, for example, I said this, and I've said this every single time I've said something negative about them. They do good videos. They're worthwhile, and if you enjoy them, you shouldn't feel bad about enjoying them. I never make an effort to take away from what other people do, because even if I disagree with them, we're all on the left together. But I am never shown that credence, not by anybody. Well, okay, there are some people, but for the most part, I'm not shown that credence, and it's frustrating because my ability to do my work would be infinitely easier if people would say like, "Oh yeah, Vosh is a fucking asshole, but he does good work," which is something you do. Not saying you call me an asshole, but for the most part, that's the sentiment. Rather than Vosh is a fucking asshole, comma, and a transphobic, reactionary, grifter, racist, rapist piece of shit. Never watch him And do any of my followers watch him? If so, why? At me or get unfollowed. That's really bad. It's
Yeah,
unproductive.
I think you've just described two kind of extremes, though, right? I think there are people who are doing that too in bad faith, and there are people who are doing the asshole thing. Like, yeah, he does important work, and he's a bit of an asshole. I think there's both.
I'm
I think
fine with
I
that.
think
I can take that.
But I think like anyone else, like here's my correlation to you. If I'm going through my comments, and I shouldn't do this, but sometimes I go through my comments on YouTube, I can read 500 that say "kill yourself." I'm coming to your house. I'm smashing your windows in. Right? I can read 500 of those, and sometimes they just roll off my back.
From the
I can read
left?
one comment that says, "Hey, by the way, you should have said this when you didn't." And for some reason, that will sit with me, and that will infect my brain for months. And I don't know why, but sometimes like I can't position why some certain comment is what I focus on, but I might ignore the fact that there was 5,000 positive comments. So there was 5,000 I loved your work, or there was 5,000 you did great things, because you get focused on that one, bad commenter. And in your case, it might be 100 people who are acting in bad faith, but there could also be a lot who are just saying, yeah, he does work, and he's an asshole.
But that would only be fine with me if my only interest was making money off of this. I want the left to win, and for that to happen, that kind of shit needs to stop. It is actively counterproductive when we have an internal culture that incentivizes, well, everything that I talked about in those videos. And I'm not like warring a crusade against sensitivity. Contribute what you can to each, from each what they can, to each what they must. But when the culture is designed in such a way, well, no one designed it, but when it's built in a way that
Mhm,
incentivizes that kind of infighting, that kind of counterproductive anti-praxis, like, this is a
mhm,
structural issue that affects
mhm,
our ability to reach out to people. There's a reason why, for every one of us, by us I mean like leftists, not just like me, there
sure.
are like a dozen reactionary, like dipshitty white bros on YouTube, who
Mhm,
are all indistinguishable from one another. They're literal NPCs, and they probably
mhm,
lead wretched, miserable lives. But holy shit, are they politically effective? They'll mass flag videos. You got to taste that. They'll coordinate with fucking doxing threads on 8chan. They'll raid
mhm,
people's houses and have them swatted. They'll
mhm,
fucking bomb Patreon campaigns. They'll leave negative Steam reviews. They'll do every dirty little trick in the book, and it works every single time. Usually we're just left to pick up the pieces and snarkily comment on how bad the thing they did was. This has
mhm.
to stop. We're gonna die. We are
But
literally going to die if we don't do something about this.
But do you think that this is the overarching problem with the left? Because, like, I think what you're describing does happen, and it's shitty, but I don't think that it's like an all-consuming problem that we have. I don't.
I,
I
I
don't think
mean,
it's like a.
you are much more orthodox than I am, and you probably deal with a lot less bad faith shit than me by nature of our respective content. But I think the fact that our largest content creator, ContraPoints, was harassed off Twitter, I've seen people like, this is like sociopathic to me. People have been like, "Oh, ContraPoints didn't really get canceled. Look, her Patreon is still doing well." Like, I'm sorry, we have like a finite amount of emotional energy. If you're directing so much hatred against your own allies that they're deleting their own fucking Twitter and putting account
Mhm,
managers in place so they don't have to read all the negative hate mail they get, like,
mhm,
that cuts into our ability to do work. And that happened to Contra. I'm 10 times as edgy as her, and I'm not even close to being a reactionary. But you probably
mhm,
don't get a lot of it because you are sensitive and kind. But and that's good. Well, that's good. But that's good, and that is a good thing. But that on its own can't win the culture war. It's not
mhm.
possible.
So okay, so my pushback when it comes to the Contra example is, what is in ContraPoints though an example, 'cause she's received a lot of criticism before on from different groups on the left. Isn't that an example too of someone who has an inability by virtue of their the grandiosity? She gets more flack and everything, but I've also seen a pattern where she doesn't respond well to criticism,
I don't
or
think
or
so.
or large scale criticism.
Every time I see criticism of Contra, it's like really stupid. I've gone over it too. At one point, I thought, like, okay, I like Contra, but I don't want to be like a stan or anything. I'm going to go over
Hmm.
and critically analyze every piece of information that people complain about when they talk about her being NB-phobic, because that's the main one for the most part.
Hmm.
And I went over all of it, and it was all really dumb. Everyone was
Hmm.
lying about it. None of it was representative about their complaints. I don't think it was
Hmm.
her unable to take criticism. It's just the left caustically attacking people within
But
its
it, but
own
it wasn't the but
bounds.
it wasn't the left collectively, right? Wasn't it the non-binary?
Well,
crew that were
well,
was it like
that's what I did during the Thought Slime drama, because it was mostly fucking trans people saying dumbass shit to me on Twitter. But you tell few fucking trans people to kill themselves, and suddenly you get labeled a transphobe. What are you going to do, right? I don't really care which particular demographic. They were mostly leftists, and they did something that hurt the left, and people seem to keep wanting to paint over it. They like it's like gaslighting. Like we want to ignore that it happened. This doesn't
Mhm,
happen on the right to the same extent. They're more politically efficacious than us. I'm
yeah,
not
I mean
looking to compromise the sensitivity or the well-being of any of the marginalized groups in our community. I'm literally just asking that we look within our own communities and say, are we really acting in ways that are conducive towards like effective political engagement? And if not, why? But nobody wants to
mhm.
have that convo because it means criticizing people who will get upset if criticized.
Well, I mean we're having that convo right now.
And that's why I like you. But but
But
we
okay, but before we leave the ContraPoints thing, let me
yeah.
just say, like, I still think, and I still fundamentally believe, though, that the non-binary community has a valid reason to want to speak out in that situation. So they should be able to, if they want to speak out, because I don't think even ContraPoints, and this is someone who does, stan her. This is someone who is like one of her biggest fans. I infinitely love her content. I don't think that she's above reproach. I don't think anyone should be. I think you should still be able to be criticized for your statements as a monstrous public figure that ContraPoints is.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with criticism, but it wasn't criticism. It was bad faith criticism and outright attacks. Like
But wasn't
lots
some
of
of
it.
it and some of it wasn't, right? There's valid criticism and there's bad faith criticism. It comes from
I mean, I
all
don't
sides.
have
We're
data on this, but I feel like, I mean, she deleted her Twitter. Like, it was a lot of really bad stuff. It depends on what parts of Twitter you're on, I guess. But
well,
again,
she's temporarily suspended it. It's back now.
yeah, I mean, yeah, she's back now, but like, it's an issue for me because when I look at the left, like 90% of my engagement with it is like people who are incredibly dishonest and politically inefficacious. But then when I talk
Hmm.
to other left-leaning content creators, they've made a market off of that community of incredibly politically inefficacious, sensitive people. So they
Sure,
don't
and
see that
that's terrible.
problem.
I think everyone can call that out. If you're just gonna make money or gain social capital off calling out other leftists, then you're fucking. There's no point to you, right? Like
No, no, no,
all you're doing
not
is you're.
calling out, not calling out other leftists, appealing to a community in the left that doesn't deal
Mhm.
well with criticism and that relentlessly attack. I'm including you in this.
Sure,
I saw your Twitch chat when you were doing the stream about me. There were some
sure.
real dumb fucking comments in there.
Hmm.
You do this. Peter Coffin does this. Thought Slime does this. Sean does. They all do it because that's the core of the community, and it's really, really easy to set up a market there. But as soon as you start moving out further away from that community, you get ruthlessly attacked by the orthodox members of the original ones, and that makes it impossible to reach across the aisle and bring people over.
Hmm. So you're saying by virtue of me kind of being in the sphere, I'm not allowed to move too far out of it. Otherwise, I'll alienate my
You
own base
literally
that
opened
basically
this
funds me.
convo saying that you didn't want to like comment too much on the Thought Slime stuff because you're friends with Thought Slime. I would like I again I'm not blaming you for like keeping friends, and I would maybe do the same thing to an extent, but that's just a
Oh,
reality.
no. That sorry, you misunderstood me. I don't want to comment. I don't want to speak about things I don't fully understand because I'll talk about the thought slam issue. We can bring that up next. And I will say that by prefacing, yes, I am friends with him. But what I was saying there is that I don't know as much about that situation as I probably should, especially when it comes to you are someone your master's or your bachelor's is in gender studies, right?
It's sociology with a minor in communications, but I
Oh, okay.
gender studies was one of the primary subjects of focus for
Oh,
my
okay, I was like,
sociology
why
degree.
did I think that? But anyways, when it comes to anything involving, because again, I'm a cishet, I'm not a gender, and I'm also not a gender abolitionist. So you would run circles around me on these subjects. So if anything, you could probably educate me a bit on these kind of topics, right? But when it comes to you and you having a battle with Thought Slime about topics related to gender or gender abolition, I have to say I don't know enough about this to be able to, make an educated comment on it. That would be my stance.
Yeah, and I wouldn't fault you, and I don't want to like rub you into like some big like proxy debate over defending someone else's position. That'd be infuriating for me to do. So I imagine it'd be infuriating for you to do. I did. by nature of the kind of communities that we build, we're going to experience different elements of the left. You are very kind and I think an unreproachably good person, which makes it very easy for you to see the best of the community because that's what they're looking for in their content creators. But the kind of kindness that you offer and the way in which you approach your content appeals mostly to people who are already on the left. That's a good thing.
Sure, of
We need to
course,
keep
yeah.
that machine
I'm
building forever.
I agree. I'm here for when you scoop up some alt righties and then they want to go further left and you know have me talk to them about theory and friendly happy things.
Yeah.
I'm not as effective as you at recruiting alt writers.
Yeah, and I say, I mean,
I've already said this.
I'm pretty far left. And that's good, and that's a necessary part of the process. But much like building a base in StarCraft, we, you know, expanding beyond the borders is a necessary prerequisite. The right has done this incredibly effectively. The right has set up shop in nearly every single major subculture, and like gaming is the big one, obviously, but gaming is now larger than movie consumption, and it is a distinctly right-wing hobby now. What the fuck happened? And it happened because the left wasn't around in 2014. I remember the threads back then when Gamergate was starting. The reactionary dipshitty wheel was beginning. People were starting to say stupider and stupider shit. And in the lefty communities I was in, people were like, whatever, it's just fucking gaming, fucking Xbox Live 13-year-old white boys. Who gives a shit? Whatever. They want to have their own little. And now 5 years later, and it is now a culture that every single day brings in probably tens of thousands of apolitical people who will, in some short manner of time, be churned out as far-right conservatives or even fascists. And we left that to them. And there are still people, when I talk about these issues, I'll be like, we need to do something to catch these fucking dipshits before they move to the right. And people will be like, why do we care about getting some dumbass white boys in on the left? Why do we need them? Because we're trying to fucking win. Because a dumbass white boy today could be a dumbass leftist white boy tomorrow. It's incredible.
And on that, I agree with you. Like, you have no pushback from me. I totally agree. And like I said, I think you individuals like yourself need to exist to do that. All right. I said that in my video as well. And again, I think, you know what, if I was to summarize both of our positions, and I could be wrong on this, I think your criticism of me is valid in that we have to leave our leftist safe spaces sometimes, our little bubbles, and acknowledge these kind of aspects of it. And I would still say that I think by virtue of being that individual who's going to recruit people, I think also we have to be open to you know, criticisms and apologies sometimes. Like, I don't think part of being, you know, this alpha man persona that you've created to recruit people also means that you can also accept good faith valid criticisms, right? I
When I
don't think
get
those are
them,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be like bitter or anything. And I agree. When I started this, I hoped that I could join. When I saw how quickly my channel was growing, because I've been fairly fortunate. I've been very lucky. When I saw,
What do you have, 2,000 concurrent viewers right now?
yeah,
I mean, that's incredible, dude. That's a huge audience.
It went
You
pretty
have
good.
us on hiker numbers.
It really is in large part due to fortune, part capitalizing on a market that Destiny left open when he stopped dealing with conservative. I started doing this right as Destiny stopped tackling the alt-right. So I probably benefited a lot from people moving over from that. So fortune coincides, what have you. When I originally started, I had hoped that I could link arms. I could link arms with the rest of BreadTube, and we could be like, okay, we have differences in our approach. We all want the same things. We all want the trans rights, racial equality. We want gender parity. We want socialism. There are some libs in BreadTube, but for the most part, we want socialism. We want we all share the same goals. We just have different ways of approaching. Like in the cool video games where the missiles all fire in different directions at first, but then they converge in the same target. That is what we are. We are a multidisciplinary task force. And now, like, I would just settle for 50% of the breadtubers to not think I'm right-leaning. I would settle for that. And if I got more good faith engagement or criticism, if people would come on more often, I stream all the time. I'm always open to hear people critique me. I will never turn down an invitation to get like shit talked by anyone. If people would do that, I would love that. I would adore that. I don't know, and it's why I appreciate talking to you, by the way. I really do. Because it is sometimes difficult for me to remember that there are a plurality of perspectives when it comes to one's perception of the left. My perception isn't uniform. Um,
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know if people think that I'm gonna try and like debate Godstony them or something if they come on. Like, all right, you are here now. Here are the axioms. Let us do battle or anything like
Hmm.
that. I would just like to have more conversations. It might help me relate more to the interests of more orthodox, sensitive, left leaning people. That would probably be
Hmm.
good for my content too because it would help me have more information to build my engagement off of. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I don't think it's like a black and white binary. I don't think that there is like a huge amount of leftists looking to destroy you in bad faith, as is there is also, I think people should also acknowledge, yeah, there are people acting in bad faith, and that is a problem. I think just bad faith arguing in general is a problem, right? Regardless
Yeah,
of
we
who it's
can win
coming
with
from.
good. We can win with good faith argument. The only time you should argue in bad faith is when your opponent has already committed to doing so, because at that point it's just about strength. And I think I excel in those yeah, I excel in those environments. Like if you're arguing with a Nazi, 5 minutes in, at first they'll start with, "I'm not a Nazi. I'm an identitarian who believes in a pan-European, alliance." And you get them 5 minutes through the buzzwords, and they're talking about how they want to like genocide the blacks. And once that
Hmm.
happens, like there's no point in like actually arguing with them. You just have to posture and
Hmm.
and make yourself stronger than them because their audience will appreciate that. They only go after strength. They're like animals. Um, so
um,
it's a
did you
stretch.
want me to address? I think you had a couple people in your chat paying you money to ask me questions. Did you want to?
Oh, is that? Hold on. Yeah, wait. Let me
Do you want
check.
to? Do
Sorry.
you want to get your social capital?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. Here, a second. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the donos. JK with the $5 at the Surfs. What? Okay, wait, really quick, guys. I really like the Surfs. Please don't be mean to the Surfs. Why are
No,
you
no, no. I
fine?
want the main questions.
All right, why are you fine with all reactionaries, one free speech, but not with leftists fighting back with? Wait, I'm sorry. Did I misread this? Why are you fine with all reactionaries, one free speech, but not with leftist fighting back with vigor? I'm not sure what the one free speech means, but that is the question.
I don't. Can you translate that into English for me? I don't fully understand the question.
Um, I
I'm
okay.
guessing
I
it's
think I think I
whataboutism.
think the
Like,
question is why are you okay with or why are you pro free speech in the sense that when you're talking with reactions you'll be like yeah I'm with free speech I'm in favor of free speech, but
oh,
then not
they
so.
might have misconstrued my opinion. I'm for free speech within the limits of free speech under our current laws, right? I'm not one of those free speech warriors who believes that that it's totally fine to intentionally misgender or marginalize groups in order to get your point across. That's not me. That's more of the Dave Rubin man kind of camp, or the Tim Pools.
Yeah, I'm okay with basically anything as long as the outcomes are good. I think I said this in a video that also got me canceled, but I said like I
Hmm.
don't like it when people deontologically like make the argument that like saying the n word is bad. I would rather they did it from a consequentialist perspective because otherwise conversations can get really dumb really fucking quickly. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I guess we disagree there, though. Like, I do think saying the N word is bad.
I
Not just
think it's
because, like,
generally
you
bad.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, saying that word. Well, I mean, especially like as a white person. I
Yeah.
don't.
I'd say I mean I would make the argument that nothing is intrinsically bad. Like it all depends on its consequences. And you
Sure.
would do like an act like a rule utilitarian thing. But yeah, for the like I would never argue like, hey, so and so like said the N-word in class today. Oh, well, hold on. That might not be bad. Let's analyze the consequences. Like no, like for the most part in a
Hmm.
in a pragmatic sense, you know?
Hmm.
Hold on. Let's go over. Awesome09 with the $2. I blame Tim Pool and SJWs for the left infighting. Tim
Hmm.
Pool and SJWs. Or is this AJWs? Anti Justice Warriors?
People were really excited to pay you money to ask you questions.
Yeah, guys, it doesn't hurt to proofread. I feel really bad when I can't understand the fucking messages. All right. Oh, hold on. Wait. JK with the $2. Sorry, typed fast, didn't edit. What? Why wouldn't you retype it in this style? What you said? Like, wait.
But now they're gonna pay another $2 to get
Hey,
to
yeah.
get it
Hey,
out.
next one better be a $5 dono, buddy, or I'm not reading it. Okay. Hold on. Oh God.
Okay,
Gyro.
here.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
can I
Sorry.
can I say I've only got like 5 minutes left,
Oh
but
yeah,
can I
yeah, yeah.
can
I
I
don't
bring
mean to
up
take away your
one last
time.
point, because I never got to talk to you about this, and this is one thing that did bug me that I did want to bring up.
Hmm.
The idea of debating or bringing on people like Blair White. Can I ask you about that? And can I ask why? Like, I know that pissed off a lot of the trans members in my community, for example, and they like this was something that I was asked to bring up to you. Why would you normalize her, or like make her seem like, you know, almost adorable by getting her to dab and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that I think that debate is the one that I regret the most. Usually
Okay,
I have two approaches when I go into a debate. Most of the time I'm just there to look stronger and smarter than them, to crush them, to make them look like an idiot in front of their followers. That's usually all you can do in debates with reactionaries. And
sure.
for the most part. However, there have been two times I've tried something different. With Hunter Avalone, I tried to go a little bit softer and try and more directly appeal to him rather than appealing to an imagined
Didn't
audience.
you crush him? Am I thinking of a different
I
debate?
mean, I blew him the fuck out. But
Yeah.
I think I did it in a way that facilitated an engagement afterwards, and I was right because now he and I are friendly in DMs, and I think that can be step one to moving people over. And moving one content creator over is worth moving 100,000 non-content creators over, especially at that size. But I still think I did good in the debate with Blair White. I fucked up that balance. I was
Okay.
trying to meet this interstice between blowing her the fuck out and being likable enough to be able to talk with her in the future and get gossip on Steven Crowder and Dave Rubin, who I know she has beef with, in the hopes that if I could talk with her about that, I could kind of like use her as a wedge, you know? But I fucked
Ah,
up,
okay.
and I fucked up on both parts. I didn't go hard enough in the argument. There
Mm-hmm.
were so many points I could have caught her on. So many times she'd lied to me. People were providing me screenshots, and I looked over them,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, I'm gonna go and try use the wedge thing. But I wasn't nice enough to be able to talk to her after because now she doesn't respond to me
Mm-hmm.
in DMs. So that was
Mm-hmm.
just just a poor engagement on my part. But
Okay.
it is difficult to walk that line.
Yeah. No. Of course. No, I
I
understand.
still think I did decent on most of those points. I don't think anyone could come away from that debate thinking that her trans medicalist take was in any way like valid.
Mm-hmm.
Like because any argument made along trans medicalism could also be used to invalidate her. But
No, of course, but she as a figure, you know, being as kind of like damaging as she is, there's also something to be said about normalizing her just as a public figure alone, right?
yeah, I mean, she has like a huge audience compared to mine, so I wasn't worried about giving her exposure. It was more like, yeah, I didn't want to give the impression after that she's like, oh, cutesy, we just disagree on opinions. Oh, because she really is like a monster when it comes to her perspectives. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
definitely could have handled that one a lot better. I
Okay.
probably would agree with most of the criticisms that your audience would foster onto me.
Okay. Well, I gotta go, Vosh. Let's do this again. We can talk about maybe some issues in more depth because I know we only kind of skirted the surface and it was more just us dancing around some of these things. But I appreciate you having me on and having the dialogue.
I appreciate you being willing to come on. As before, it's fun. I mean, we actually haven't spoken to one another ever, which is funny because
True.
I've probably engaged with you more than almost any other lefty on YouTube. Um,
What? Really? I
None
thought
of you
we've
people will talk to me.
but
Oh,
we've written to each other like twice. Or three
you
times.
have listen. It's bad out there. Listen, my DMs getting at my DMs are for my fucking D&D buddies these days. Okay, the bread tubers got real fucking cold shouldery. I should have no trouble getting this one from you. Can I get a trans rights?
Yeah, trans rights all the fucking day. I'm actually running a charity for trans rights on October 18th, so please tell your audience if they're interested. The weekend of October 8th, I'm going to be doing like a 3-day charity drive for the Trans Lifeline, which is a really important organization that obviously acts as a 24/7 volunteer-based lifeline for people who are vulnerable and might have suicidal ideation. So
That's
it's a really good
phenomenal. I
cause.
hope it goes really
Yeah.
well. I actually okay, this sounds grifty. I actually wanted to do like a charity thing a little while ago. There was just a period of time where it felt like it'd be a good idea, but but it
Hmm.
was right after the Thought Slime drama, and I was worried people were going to accuse me of grifting. Like, oh, here I'm making up for it. I'm gonna have to
Uh,
wait like 3 more months, and then maybe my public perception will be good enough that I can do that kind of shit.
you're working on the rebuild, right?
Yeah. One last
The
thing.
redemption.
Did you know that in the highly racist Nazi Anglish, it's like English, but it's Anglo-Saxon words only, so it doesn't have any of the filthy, impure, corrupt influences of degenerate race languages. Trans rights translates directly into kinswitcher decrees.
No, I did not know that.
That's actually true. I learned that from a caller.
Oh, interesting. Well, I
Anyhow,
did learn something.
have a good one.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. All right. That actually went a lot better than I expected it to. Oh man. Yeah, that went pretty well. I think that's about as good of a conversation as I can have along these axes. Let's talk with chat for a little, then we're gonna do some PragerU, huh? Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. 1 second, chat team. I'll be right back. Donate. I gotta say, having kittens is fucking exhausting. Holy shit. Here, let's go over donos really quickly and talk about stuff in general. Debate Nick Fuentes? Probably. Probably happen eventually. Did you get the poop claw? I did not get the poop claw this time, Pig Puncher. Here, let me go over donos. How we doing, folks? I feel pretty good. I don't get positive engagement with left-leaning people that often, you know? Are there any examples of cancel culture coming from the right and center? There are, but it's a lot less substantial than what typically happens in left-leaning spaces. And that's okay. I have seen the quartering PewDiePie thing. Anyhow. Hey, Lib Raven, I don't disagree. Here, hold on. Shiro with the tier 1 sub. Starting to look like Bernie can win 2020. Really? I'm pretty sure Warren looks like she's going to come out on top, but we'll see, I guess. Everyone get out there and volunteer, or at the very least make it to the primaries. Ken Switcher decrees and sees the mean, folks. Thank you, comrade. Ken Switcher decrees. Tucker Haas with the $5. Idea for a new PragerU video. Socialism. A keep what you can kill society. I think it'd be easier to make videos for the right. You can say anything. Tucker Haas, you can literally say anything to right-leaning people and they will eat it up. There is no intellectual standard that they fall above, you know? None. None whatsoever. Dad with the incredibly generous 1312 donation. A cab to you too, brother. ContraPoints did nothing wrong, I am of that opinion as well. Or at least ContraPoints did no more wrong than you could expect any average person to do. But she's done a lot of right. I watch both you and Nick. Your sense of humor... You watch Nick? Are you a Nazi? Your sense of humor has been getting more similar to Nick's. Honestly, do you watch some of Nick's clip? I never watch any of Nick's content at all. I don't think my sense of humor has been getting similar to him. We're both Zoomers, though. We're both, like, edgy, politically radicalized Zoomers. I don't hate, like, black and Jews, though, so... 486 with the 20 unknown currency. Thank you. Is pooping in the microwave praxis? Yes. Vosh Zoomer? Wait, guys, chat, really quickly. How old do you think I am? Most people are saying 25, but some people are thinking in their 40s. I'm 25 years old. I'm young. What's fine? I trimmed my beard. I look younger. What do you want from me? Jesus Christ. Awesome09 with the $2. AJW equals anti-social justice warrior. Duh. Well, maybe don't use the abbreviation. Jesus. Hammer Time with $1. This is a genuine issue. It exists offline as well. It's an exceedingly privileged position to be trying to push out mostly poor people who are rough around the edges while literal Nazis are on the rise. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about that too, but I don't know how much I can substantiate that with data, you know? So I don't want to make that claim. Just a little more, and then we're going to Prager fucking you. A Jew for you with the $5. Destiny DMCA'd the squirrel, and now she is telling her followers to report him for ban evasion. Also say it re? Wait, Destiny seriously DMCA'd the squirrel? Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Listen. Guys, this is a fucking ongoing war, okay? Hold on. These two just need to they need to fuck, okay? Cuz this is insane. How severe this antagonism has gotten, okay? Look at this shit. Destiny, we all know him. Very few of you love him, probably. Whatever. I talked about him briefly. Keeps fucking engaging with this person. The fucking Twitter squirrel? This person? Zaynabq? Anyway, Zaynabq has been like non-stop fucking shitting on Destiny, and Destiny has been shitting on fucking Squirrel Girl, and apparently Destiny DMCA'd this fucking video. Jesus. Oh, this is from 1 minute ago. Oh my god. Listen, okay, here's my perspective on this. Are you ready? Here's my enlightened centrist take, okay? So Destiny is a liberal and therefore wrong on everything, okay? And Twitter Squirrel is not a liberal and therefore less wrong on everything, right? So you'd think it'd be that simple, right? Well, for the most part, I do think that the squirrel has been a little bit uncharitable and really weirdly fucking, like, obsessed with Destiny, but I guess no more so than stuff I've done in the past. So I would say, I don't know, Destiny DMCAing this clip was like really bad though. DMCA means, what I actually don't know what DMCA stands for. What DMCA abbreviation? Digital, oh yeah, okay. Digital Millennium Copyright Act. So a DMCA takedown is when you submit a request through the provisions of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which allows you to take down any piece of content that corresponds to your intellectual property. So basically, this was a clip of Destiny saying that he says the N-words all the time. Destiny was like, I can pretend to be Destiny, okay? Here's me being Destiny, okay? So, why do you say the N-word all the time? Yeah, because it's fucking funny. No. But seriously, and I've said this all the time. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've been consistent in my position on this before. However, let me be clear. When I say all sorts of edgy shit when I'm just hanging out on my own, I don't care. Whatever. I just try not to say it, on stream. Because I don't want people getting the wrong idea. That was pretty much the thing. He said he like says the N-word all the time. I think I literally like quoted him there. Anyway, so he DMCA'd that clip, which I don't know. Destiny is obviously pretty like salty about the squirrel existing. That's an impressively bad impression. I can't do Destiny's voice. What do you want from me? Jesus. That impression was about as good as Peter Coffin's. Okay, listen, I can't do Destiny impression. I feel like I can do an impression of Peter Coffin doing an impression of Destiny. Oh, allow me to elucidate the perfunctory manner by which the general population expresses its malaise. Big words! There. Okay, I can do that. I can do the Peter Coffin impression of Destiny. I can't quite do Destiny. Whatever the case may be, this is like, fuck me. This is so fucking unproductive. Holy shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so anyway, so fucking Squirrel is clipping Destiny and like shit talking Destiny and whatever. And Destiny is shit talking back and sent to the MCA. And here, where's Destiny at? Where's Destiny? I know I'll be able to find Destiny here somewhere. Oh shit. DMCA Stiny. Here, we'll discuss directly. And he's responding as well, and it's even more than just the tweets. Here we go. Unlike you, I don't spend literally 24/7 on Twitter trying to unmask and figure out every person's AKA. You need to have a serious mental health issue. You need to take a break. 100,000 tweets over 5 years, mate. Seriously. For anyone interested, the Twitter squirrel actually has 104,000 tweets over the past 5 years. That is a lot of tweets, actually. Hold on, wait. Wait, so that's September, so that's 5 years. So that's 5. So that's okay, hold on. So that's 5 times 365, which is that. Okay. And we're going to do 104,000 divided by that for the number of tweets we're getting per day. 1825. So that's 57 tweets per day. Or assuming you sleep 8 hours, that'd be 16 hours available to you a day, which means you're tweeting approximately 4 times every hour consistently with no breaks for 5 years consecutively. Okay, listen, I'm not naming and shaming or anything. That is just an extraordinary amount of tweeting. Holy shit. TBH though, who cares? This is pointless drama. I mean, it's drama. Whether or not it's pointless, like, hinges on whether or not you think, like, you give a shit about Destiny and what happens to him, I suppose. Retweets count too, and they retweet a lot of their stuff. Oh, do retweets count too? Oh, okay, that might throw it off a little bit. It's still a lot of tweeting, but that does throw it out a little bit. Oh, no. All right, dude, this is developing live. I feel like I'm an investigative journalist. Look at this shit. This happened literally like a minute ago. Saying that Destiny's account should be reported because it's ban evasion. Got that. All right. Yeah, I'm doing Vice News. I'm doing a Vox documentary right now. Is there a way for me to, like, on stream mimic the editing style of Vox documentaries? Wait, here, hold on. Okay, wait. Imagine saying the N-word. Bazinga. Hey, have you ever wondered how this drama started? Well, here we go. No, I don't fucking know. What are my thoughts on this? I have to give thoughts. No one will respect me unless I give my wisdom on all of these, on all of these events. Destiny is targeted by a lot of bad faith criticism. He's also targeted by a lot of good faith criticism that he doesn't listen to. Destiny has been mauling a little bit over the past couple of months. Sextony, slurping the brain juice out of the dick hole, you know how it'd be. So that's kind of unfortunate. I generally respect Twitter Scroll over here, ZaynabQ. I've talked with them a little bit. I think they're very intelligent. I do also think they're kind of fucking autistic. I have fucking autism privilege. I can say it. I recognize symptoms. Symptoms recognize symptoms, okay? They're, like, obsessively dedicated to the, like, it's mostly been Squirrel Girl instigating. If you go through the history, it's mostly been Squirrel Girl instigating. Like, look how far down we've scrolled. Wait, look where we are. Wait, here we are now at the top. And then we go down. We're at 3 hours ago. We're now at 3 hours in the past. Now we're at 5 hours in the past. Like, they're tweeting nonstop, and they tweet about Destiny all of the time. And I can imagine, I don't know, this is kind of based. I mean, yeah. No, well, whatever the case may be. She tweets a lot. It's she, I think. I'm pretty sure she. But she tweets, like, a fuckload about Destiny. and I can imagine that gets pretty irritating for Destiny, but a lot of the criticisms are pretty valid. She did want to debate Destiny. However, she wanted to have an email debate. Like, she wanted to debate over, like, email debate, you know? But Destiny doesn't do email debates. Why would he? He's a public figure, and he streams. They're a he? I have heard that Twitter Squirrel is a she. But Destiny was like, no, fuck that. Why wouldn't you debate me on stream? And then the Twitter Scroll started arguing in favor of the elucidating characteristics of email debates, and also said that if she appeared on live stream, people would use her voice to try and determine her identity. Why are you assuming Squirrel's a girl? Because I've been told that the squirrel is a girl. Just say they. I have literally had other people say after long conversations, actually, she's a she. Why would you? Do you assume? When I'm saying I'm pretty sure that she's a girl or she's a she or whatever, do you think that I'm like just guessing? Okay, whatever. Anyway, but they saw. Sorry, my bad. Being told by multiple sources over a period of months isn't enough. I'll go with they now. Whatever. But anyway, they said they didn't want to debate over voice because that's bad or whatever, because someone could like track down their identity, which is pretty a weird thing to say. It's pretty weird. It's pretty fucking weird to say that if you, just some person on Twitter with no face or name attached to you, goes on a live stream, someone will be able to use your voice to determine your identity. That is very strange. But I don't know. What's most likely to me is that they're kind of a timid person or not very like verbally aggressive, and Destiny would blow them the fuck out in debate. Which, like, again, like that's literally Destiny's job. Destiny's job is literally to blow people the fuck out in a debate, and that's not the job of Squirrel Person. Why can't Destiny do a chat debate with Squirrel? I wouldn't do that. Guys, I stream for a living. I would never... Someone's like, hey, do you want to spend hours and weeks of time doing an email correspondence in debate for no monetary gain in a format you're not comfortable with? No. Why would I ever want to do that? I don't know. You didn't miss the preview. I wouldn't make money off of it, and that's important. This is my job, and it's Destiny's job too. These are our jobs, respectively. So there's that. Wouldn't make money off of it. Not a format we're comfortable with. Would take substantially more time and wouldn't be public. Like, that's really weird. I sympathize with Destiny in this respect. I would never accept an email debate. I don't like... Why would I do that? Also, I type really slow. I never trim my fingernails, and I type with 2 fingers. I'd have to, like... They might be a semi-famous person IRL. Maybe? Just, like, get a voice change? I have no idea. Wouldn't it be public? It'd be in chat? No, it'd be over email. Thoughts on Joker? Haven't seen it yet. I also type with 2 fingers. Yeah. I don't think Bernie should drop out. Bernie should continue to push the platform as far left as possible. Have you considered learning how to type? Why would I? I make all my money talking nowadays. Also, hey, guys, seriously, guys. Noticed anything different? Noticed any vibrations dampened somewhat? Not my beard. Not my beard. Not my beard. It's not my fucking beard. I stopped coughing. Jesus. Thank you. June gets it. June was the first person. Actually, Bewilderbee said no cold, but it wasn't a cold. It was the cough. Did I get one of those cancer holes? No. Whatever the case. Yeah, okay, my cough is lightened up. Anyway, okay, can we fucking focus? This is just like really dumb. What's going on in Destinies? Let's wrap it up. Let's see what Modal Sevenths is up to. Okay? That's what we're gonna take a look at. Defending the quartering. Destiny. 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 We're shit talking Cat Black? Destiny! Destiny! What the fuck? What did Cat Black say? Hold on. We're doing drama review of Twitter's fucking Destiny's fucking Twitter. Just to be on. Okay, so Destiny did the thing. Then Cat Black responds, to be honest, when I watched his JonTron video back, this totally doesn't shock me. He makes good and valid points, but there's something very unnerving to me about a white man who genuinely believes he can even start asserting he can solve problems in the black community. Okay, no, never mind. I take it back. That was a pretty dumb tweet from Cat Black. I've watched the JonTron video. I take it back. This is pretty dumb. That is pretty fucking dumb. Yeah, never mind. This is fine. It's okay. Guys, we did it. We assume, guys, this is assumptions make an ass out of you and me. And we assumed this was a bad tweet from Destiny. But actually, no. Like, wait, yeah. Nah, fucking. Destiny doesn't like black people or likely has prejudiced views. I don't think there's anything to substantiate that. Really, Pig Puncher? That's pretty fucking pathetic. I think it's a bad take. Like this is like, why would you, if you're gonna criticize a left-leaning person, a left-leaning white person, why would you be like, I think it's very unnerving seeing a white person thinking they can even begin to solve problems in the black community? What do you mean? I've talked about black issues before. I don't think I or Destiny think we're like the saviors of black culture. You just like weigh in on issues and try to talk about stuff, you know? I don't know, whatever. Okay, that wasn't good. Oh, here's Destiny mocking non-compete, because apparently non-compete hasn't been getting good views in his videos lately. I don't like non-compete very much, but it is unfortunate to see a left-leaning content producer not getting much recognition. Amazing. All right, stop with the drama review. Cut it out. All right, Godspeed, Destiny. Can we fucking focus? Can we do PragerU? Ha! Good meme, Pig Puncher. Good fucking meme. Let's do PragerU in a second. Hold on. Oh, donos first, then Prager. All right. Nice. Good meme. Also, I changed up the camera angle a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I think it's a little bit better now. Like, I look a little bit better. Why don't you like non-compete? Because non-compete shit-talked me. Hold on. The Gutberg with the $20. Thank you. Jesus, comrade, that's really kind of you. Yo, big fan of yours. How do I get unbanned from your Discord? I was banned for doing something very stupid. I hope you don't think the $20 is going to weigh in any well in the fucking unban process. The Gutberg, you'll have to send an email. It's vosh.gg/support. And there's an email link there with explanation on how to send in an unban email. I'm not in any way, shape, or form responsible for the moderation of the Discord at this point. Didn't Peter Coffin shit on you, Vosh? I think Peter Coffin is like the only person who hasn't shitted on me. Okay, listen. Guys, I'm ready to get Squirrel Person quoted, okay? With the N-word thing. Okay, so Destiny doesn't say the N-word on stream, but he says it in private. And he says he doesn't say the N-word on stream because he doesn't want to like normalize it or give people the wrong idea. But that is kind of fucked up by you then saying you use it off stream. That doesn't make it sound like you're anti-racist. That makes it sound like you're just kind of pushing it off to when you're not getting, canceled for it. So that's not, yeah. So what he could do, because listen, everyone says the N-word all the time, constantly, at all points in time. Right now, everyone in chat is just like holding like N-I, delete. Like you always want to say the N-word. I think so. The best thing that Destiny could do is say, when asked, I sometimes use more coarse language off stream than I do on stream. It's just a product of me engaging with like my friends and talking with them privately as opposed to how I treat things publicly. But I always do so, I think, in an anti-racist way, or I never use it as a pejorative or anything like that. It's not perfect or anything, but like it's a process, you know? I think that would be the best way for Destiny to reconcile that inconsistency without without um like lying, because I don't think it's good to lie, you know. um with that being said, like I say the n-word sometimes, but usually when I do, it's like in absurdist humor, like the Joker stuff, you know, like with the Joker movie. Like I was holding it up, you know, Artemy, my little kitty, the little cat that I've got. I was like holding him up, and we were considering seeing the Joker the other day, Hyena and and I was bouncing Artemy, you know, bounce, and I was saying, you want to come see the Joker with us, you know? You want to say the N word? Say, and then I said the N word, like holding it up at Hyena, the cat, you know, and then the cat meowed, and it was really okay. That I'll take my cancellation for that. If in that context you didn't say the N word, poser, I totally did. If in that context, yeah, the cat said it. If in that context, like I'm bad or whatever, like with a hard R, yeah, with the hard R. Why the fuck would I? It's not. Joker doesn't say it with a soft A. Joker says it with the hard R. Also, everyone who's like saying the hard R in chat, like you're not funny. There's nothing actually funny about just saying the N-word. The jokes around it are like, you have to be more clever than that, okay? Does Joker say the N-word? The whole movie is him saying the N-word. Yeah, Joker says the N-word the entire movie. The whole movie is Joker saying the N-word. Do you worry about it becoming habitual to say it? I don't think it's a big deal, but I'd be worried about that. Yeah, that's something you always have to consider. Whenever you use a word, you normalize it in your brain, and it becomes easier to say it in the future. For a while, I never said retarded, but then I started saying it like a little bit, and now sometimes I like reflexively say it. It's just how the brain works. You use language that you have used. I don't think there's I don't think that there's like a good justification for like on platform, like using the N-word as a pejorative ever under any circumstances. I said the N-word during my discussion with the Kill stream, but I thought that was okay because I was actually using it in a way to oppose racism rather than abet it. Yeah, the nuances are. How was Joker? I haven't actually seen it yet. Shh. Why do you feel the need to say the N-word? Because if that's the case, I should be able to say any slur I want without regard. Wait, what kind of question is that? You can do what you want. If you do shitty things, you can be called out for it. Sometimes I do shitty things. I'm not saying I'm like morally above reproach or anything. But even when I do say the N-word, I'm usually doing it in like an absurdist context. I've never, ever used it as a pejorative. I don't think in my life. It's always like, oh, like the gamer word thing, or like, we remember the tweet. Wait. What was that tweet? This was a really good tweet. Everyone liked this tweet. This tweet was liked by everyone. High quality, top tier. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sweaty man. I have a lot of respect for the serfs. I really fucking hope that Lance doesn't talk with me and be friendly, and then Lance goes back to the stream and they're all, so I just had a talk with Vosh, and like, oh boy. Yeah, if you are around people who say the N-word, you will probably start saying it reflexively. So you never used it as a weapon? No, God no. Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like okay, wait, hold on. What was the here, hold on. What was it? Twitter Joker rated hard R. Come on. Don't ruin the joke by like taking forever for me to find it. What was this? It was like this tweet, and then someone responded, "Wow, I can't believe Joker is rated N-word," and they said the N-word. That was that because I I I don't think that's racist. It's just It just coincided. Where is the tweet? I'm gonna have to type out the N-word. Yeah, this. This is just, there we go. I already ruined the joke by typing it out. So, oh, thank you, Beats. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But no, this like in contexts like this, we're leaning more into absurdism than we are like using it as a weapon or anything. But even then, there are plenty of people in the comment replies of that tweet being like, haha, based fucking monkey, fucking porch monkeys. So like, even if you do it in the best context and as a public figure, even if you do it in a way that wouldn't be harmful in a private context, you can still bolster racism in a public context. So in a public context, I would only ever use the N-word in a context where I know it is unmistakably 100% not capable of being interpreted in a racist way. And in a private context, I would try and use it in a non-harmful, in a way that I don't believe like reinforces any prejudices, but is more like leaning on absurdist humor. You know, that would be my like prescription here. Whatever the case is, I think that Destiny like fucked up with his presentation of that dichotomy. Why do American white boys want to say that word so fucking bad? Araxiel, it's really the exact same logic as anything else. When you're denied the ability to do something, you want to do it really badly. It's literally that. It's not just a white boy thing. This is literally just how the human mind works. If you take something away from somebody, they're going to want it more than ever before. If you fucking listen, if you're a fucking real ass dude and you got a fat fucking dick and you just your entire fucking life you've just been slamming puss, okay? With time, you know, you're gonna want that asshole is going to look just a little bit better with each consecutive pass, okay? Because it really truly is the forbidden fruit, the N-word. Call out time, didn't you use the N-word on the kill stream? Wouldn't that be interpreted in a bad manner? No, if you go watch the kill stream VOD, that is what I'm referring to, and that was in a good manner. Excuse me. What's wrong with calling a black person the N-word if they're being assholes to you? Adolf Vosh, I know that you probably don't care about racism because you watch Nick Fuentes, but the reason why is because when you call someone an N-word as a pejorative, you're insulting them for either being or being similar to black people. That is the basis of the insult. So if they're being an asshole, you can call them an asshole. There's nothing wrong with calling a black person who's being an asshole. When you call them the N-word, what you're saying essentially is that it is A, bad to be black, and B, there is an inherently blackish characteristic to their behavior. Both of those things are racist. I know you probably don't care about racism, but I'm not going to be able to win you on that one. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. You can do fucking PragerU. Why'd you say it in your problems with the left video? I didn't. I think I said faggot in my problems with the left video. Yeah, it's kind of like how whenever I say lately I have been saying this is gay, but then usually when I say this is gay, I'll then like posture and I'll be like, this is gay. Being gay is bad. Remember, being straight is correct. Like, or some like dumb shit like that, you know? I did say the soft N-word. Why would I do that? Why would I say the soft A N-word in that video series? Did I really do that? God, that's bad praxis. Why would I do that? Maybe I am just a white boy who wants to say the N-word. I said it twice? I said it soft A? Alright, well, what are you gonna do? Hey, listen, okay? I'm just putting it all out there. Woke scolds win again. I said it 19 times? Damn. I'm still saying the N-word. Here, hold on. Let's... Please, let's... Oh, that's right. It was about white boys who like saying it. Man, fuck you guys. All you people. Oh yeah, Vosh, you said the N. Oh yeah, Vosh, you showed your dick on stream during the video and then uploaded it to YouTube, and they just haven't caught around to banning you yet. Oh yeah, Vosh, you said the N-word with a hard R, and then you said that the N-word should fucking leave America and stuff. Shut the fuck up. I said white boys want to say that shit contextually. Can we fucking dishonest pieces of shit? Fuck you guys. Yeah, that is what we need. We need like a permanent N-word counter. Like every single time I do it. We need it like right here. Right behind, right at the corner, you know? And it can just be every time I say it, and there's gonna be a big button I can press right here. I'm gonna say it and then I hit it. Okay. Can we fucking do donos so we can do Preggy You? Jesus Christ. Alright. Young and Hung. With the $1. Destiny Malding on Twitter versus Squirrel Hard, calling her mentally ill for correcting him after he defended the quartering and claiming he isn't alt-right. Yeah, I know. Hail Kvaforth with the $30. God damn, the generosity continues. What the fuck, Kvaforth? Thank you. Just want to say thank you for saving me from the reactionaries. Where were you during the serfs convo? No, I'm just fucking with you. Thank you. Jesus, $30. That is incredibly kind of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Fucking hell. And anytime, by the way. Anytime. Disc Doggy with the $5. Love you, man. Hey, I love you too. Thank you. And Jordan with the $3. After ending a multi-topic stream, you should rename it to have the large topics instead of just the last one. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I wish there was more like intuitive a way for me to like change the name, like if I could do it for my website or something, but that's a YouTube specific thing, so I just have to do that. Is joking like that after calling something gay not just you lampshading a bad habit? No, I'm making fun of the bad habit. I'm not like I'm making fun of it. I don't think it's a bad habit. I'm queer. I do queer politics all the time. I say like, oh, this game is gay, by which I mean it's not straight. Straight is the correct. I don't think I'm lampshading a bad habit. I think I'm lampshading the tendency for people to associate gay with bad. I think I do it like loud and performative enough that people get the gist. It's a bit of both. Really? When I'm playing a video game and my fucking gun jams and I go, this gun, it's so gay. This is a homosexual gun, which is bad. Being straight is good. Are there really people in chat who are being like, oh, Vosh is going off again with his unironic homophobia, just trying to play it off as a joke, huh? Like what? How hard do I have to overperform before the sarcasm? Chat's just fucking with me? You're right. Chat's just fucking with me. Hold on. Kaiser Anson with the tier 1 sub. Thank you. Hey, Vosh, how do you think we would win a proletarian revolution when the government would have stuff like tanks? This is very complicated, but the gist of it is that internal revolutions they're more complicated than that. There have been revolutions that have been won before in countries that have tanks. There's usually a foreign support. There's usually a military component to the revolutionaries. Revolutionaries usually infiltrate certain elements of the population that have access to heavy weaponry. And additionally, the destabilization makes it difficult to use those weapons against the population. For example, think of how difficult a time the United States had in Vietnam. Think of how difficult a time the United States had in Afghanistan. Now, obviously, they suffered far more losses than we did, but it shows you that even though the United States had modern weaponry, modern arsenal, and relative to their time for Vietnam, even though they had those weapons, a population of either civilians or lightly trained people with light arms were able to put a serious thorn in their side. And take that, but multiply that to the scale of the entire United States proletariat, or at least a large portion of it, agitating against the government. There might not even be people available to fly those fucking planes and run those fucking tanks. The terrain is vastly different. Cities are a very, very defensible terrain for military resistance. Do you have any idea how hard it is to clear a city, like block by block? I mean, I've read a little bit on military logistics because I was interested for like how that would work in a revolution. City warfare, especially in like a modern city, this would be like, this is like insanely difficult, because keep in mind, the United States government is not going to go like, oh, there are proletarians like revolutionizing in Seattle, let's go roll in and nuke Seattle. They're not going to do that. There are literally trillions of dollars worth of like properties and businesses over here in Seattle. They would never do that. That'd be insane. And the businesses that work here wouldn't want them doing that either, because they'd have to lose a fuck ton of shit. So rather than like salting the earth or what have you, they would have to go in block by block by block, clearing out revolutionary infrastructure, clearing out dens of revolutionaries. They have no idea which civilians are or are not on their side, and the city would be a fucking network grid of defensive fortifications if the proletarian revolution managed to bring up enough people. This obviously wouldn't work if it was just 10% of the United States population revolting. It would have to be a much larger amount. Now, oh, thank you, Shapiro's cat. So anyway, the gist of it is that process is very, very difficult. Block clearing, so from what I remember, from what I read, clearing a city block by block requires some really, like holy shit, okay, like just I can't even begin to go into it. The next time you are in a major city, okay? The next time you're in a major city, I want you to imagine that you are a United States serviceman in the midst of a proletarian revolution, and that every single person around you could, at the snap of a finger, take cover in the infrastructure surrounding you, and half of them have guns. Just imagine how unbelievable, like holy shit. And you can't like mow them down or anything like that. You don't have that level of plausible deniability. All I'm saying is there's a lot of nuance that goes into revolutionary fighting that isn't present in international fighting, you know, between different armies. That's very different. And if you're invading a foreign country, you can literally just say like, man, fuck that city. You can just be, this city is out of here, and you can just bomb it into the ground. Can't really do that with American cities. They would never do that. They would never go that far. Okay, what was I saying? All right. I need to fucking focus. Okay, Somniostatic with the $20. Thank you, comrade. Saw you in chat for the Burgess Destiny debate about housing. Destiny sounded like a fucking moron for that entire thing. Agree, disagree? He said really dumb shit. I'm not a favor of rent control either, but government housing along with very targeted rent control could be good policy. I think that Ben Burgess did a poor job like explaining the ways in which a compensatory public housing could alleviate the ill effects of rent control. And at the same time, I think that Destiny was really unwilling to hear out some of Burgess's arguments, you know? You really expect the U.S. government to give a shit about plausible deniability at that point? It doesn't matter what the U.S. government wants. It's what the United States Marines and Army and Air Force and Navy want. Soldiers are proletariat, believe it or not. And it's very easy for a soldier to run into a fucking Afghani town and start gunning down civilians. It's a lot harder when you're in your country, in your city, with people who are speaking English. Much, much, much harder. Yeah, I think that Destiny responded pretty poorly to the arguments of Burgess. I'm not in favor of like ubiquitous rent control, but government housing along with selective rent control in very specific areas would probably be a good idea. Can my opinion matter? I'm a combat vet. I mean, yeah, I've never fucking shot a human being or been in a position where I've been trained to know how to shoot a human being. Okay, we gotta fucking finish these donos. Jin Omega with $5. The Surf's talk was pretty nice. Have some money. Thank you. I love money. Mind over money. MNDOVRMNKY with the $2. Google NASA greenhouse detergent recycles. I will. I promise. NASA greenhouse gas detergent cycles. Thank you. Elijah Romaine with the $5. Vosh, I'd love to be able to talk to you sometime about how you approach, how you challenge certain people in debates. P.S. I love you a lot. Yeah, DM me on Discord. It might have to be a while. Or actually, better yet, email me. Emailing is where you should go to my fucking, like, for business inquiries. Which talking to me on stream unquestionably is. Oh, Jin Omega, you should just watch the Killstream video. It's a fucking riot. Email me, but I can't promise that I'll be able to talk anytime soon. I'm very, very busy for the upcoming weeks. Boothead with the $5. Love the convo with Lance. It's nice to have you talking to left tubers when there isn't drama unfolding all the time. It'll be nice when you can have convos that aren't about drama at all. Thank you, comrade. Yeah, that would be really nice, actually. I don't want to get along with like all the left or anything. It's not like I'm this fucking like sad kid trying to be accepted, but it would be nice if I could like collaborate with some of my fucking comrades. Somniostatic with the additional $20. Holy shit, dude. You're so fucking good. You're so nice. What the fuck? Late to stream, I asked a month ago about the Surfs, and they said they canceled you. I guess things are improved. Weird to me that he said you scoop up Nazis and then they need to be sent further left. Yeah, that is something that bothered me a little bit. A lot of people are under the impression that because I'm edgy, I'm like less left than they are, and that actually kind of triggers me a little bit. I'm a lot farther left than a lot of the people in BreadTube. I'm just edgy. I don't think those things are inherently contradictory. I constantly talk about like revolutionary politics and like far left gender theory and stuff. Yeah. So sometimes but a lot of people like that. They're like, we need people like Vosh who are like closer to the right. Like, why you got to do me like that? What the fuck? All right. But that's okay. I don't think serfs necessarily meant that. I think when serfs said move them farther left, serfs meant like more to the orthodox left, you know? Kanga with the $2. Thank you. Vosh, when wiping, how far up do I go? I need help. If you have a pussy, you do not go far up at all because fucking people with pussies have very little taint, okay? Like they have basically no taint. You can fucking bowling ball grip people with pussies, you know? Where you go like this, like in two separate holes, and then you clench, and then you pull them up. So like not that. If you got a fat ass cock and balls though, you wipe all the way. Listen, you take the wipe, you put it on the asshole, and you go up until you're at the tip of the cock, okay? You just you right up the fucking hole, and then you just scrape past the balls, just scrape up the shaft, scrape right up to the underside of the cockhead, which is where you Yamero! which is where it ends. Okay. Hustle Boy with the $5. $5 for you, that's it. How expedient, Hustle Boy. Nicely done. You've shown them how it is done. Hey, Big Puncher with the $5. After rewatching my debate with Rags this morning, I think I did pretty good. There were a few points where I wish I had spent less time since we were getting into the good stuff at the end. I wasn't able to see the very end, unfortunately. I had to dip for some pre-stream stuff myself, but delightful. I'll check out the end of it soon. I'm glad. It's always good to go over your debates because you can think like, where did I fuck this point up? Where did I fuck this point up? You know, wet wipes or nah? Always wet wipes. Always. I never wipe my ass with toilet paper. Anyone who wipes their ass with toilet paper, I will never look at you. You're less than human to me. I avert my eyes when I'm fucking going down the street. I can see it unless you have a bidet. But if you're just using toilet paper, like, I'm sorry. I don't know how you can feel that's clean. And frankly, if you're using wet wipes and not going 3 knuckles in, if you're not fucking for the deep clean, then I don't even know what's up with you, okay? It's like you're not even ready. Yeah, man. Yeah, if you don't get pregnant while wiping, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Uh-oh, that was a cough. Vosh's toilet argument is classist? Damn right it is. You know what? So is expecting people to use soap. Fuck it. The Goodberg. Oh, thank you. With the additional $10. Yo, greetings from Philadelphia. Which city do you hate more, Philadelphia or Philadelphia? Well, having never been to Philadelphia, I'm afraid I don't have a strong opinion on either of those cities. But if I had to choose one, I would probably say I hate Philadelphia more. Thank you, buddy. I love you too. Almost done. Sawdust John with the $1. Have you heard about the witness in the Amber Goiger case that was killed yesterday? Yep, I have, and I'm planning on talking about it maybe tomorrow or the day after. NPC Porky with the $3. Do you think Bernie Sanders will recover or will drop out of the race for health reasons? If he does, would you go for supporting Warren? I think that he's going to recover and keep campaigning. I don't think he's going to win the nomination. If he does drop out, I have no choice but to support Warren, but my support will be very tepid. It will take a lot of my enthusiasm out of the electoral process. I think Bernie Sanders is fine, though, but he's not going to win. But he is fine. And Jane Feehan with the $2. Ben Love here. Yes, we all love Ben here. Are we ready, folks, for some fucking PragerU? How long have we waited? Too long! That's what they said in that movie, remember? In in Lord of the Rings? Pirates of the Caribbean? No, in Lord of the Rings, remember? When it's like meat's back on the menu, boys, and then someone yells too long? Wasn't that it? Wait, was it Pirates of the Caribbean? I think they said it in both. I guess there can be multiple movies where somebody yells too long in a deep voice. Ugh. Alright, let me get him. Get him! Oh, God. Oh, God, I forgot how stupid these are gonna be. Oh, my fucking... Oh, God. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Fuck. Oh, man. Oh, God. I didn't fucking... I selected these earlier. The 3 videos they've done since I last paid attention. Oh... Hey, by the way, can I point out what, like, fucking...
My great-great-grandfather,
Shut up!
Burgess, came to America.
Shut up! Can I point out what, like, grifting pieces of shit Prager University are? Look at this shit. So this is a Dave Rubin bit right here. Leftists don't value tolerance. The problem is, I've done this video before. It originally came out in 2008, and they've repackaged it. They've just done it again this time, except this time, now it's in a 1:1 ratio rather than a 16:9 ratio.
Heterosexual male or black or an immigrant, and you're not in lockstep with current leftist orthodoxy.
I've done this exact video before, so they literally just re-released the same video except in a different format, except they have also re-released it a second time, and the only thing they did was add 20 seconds of Marianne Williamson talking in the beginning of the video. And it's otherwise
spend 600 years who
the exact
Kanye West for
same
out of
video.
Christian males. There's only one problem. It's
they literally released the same video over again 3 fucking times. 3 times. Amazing. Isn't it against YouTube rules to re-upload like pre-existing content? I guess if their audience wants to keep giving them money for that shit. If the conserva fuck audience is so impressed, I don't know, like whatever, far be it from me to take that away from them. Hey, folks, I've got a question for all of you, and I want answers right now, because it's going to be relevant. Do you think the words Uncle Tom are a racial slur? Because I don't, and I think I'm about to use them a whole bunch. I'm seeing a lot of nope. Damn. Looks like I've been given permission. Tango 6, Delta. Let's get in. Why I don't want and don't deserve reparations. Yes! Lick that boot, Darky. Absolutely. How much money did Whitey give you for this one?
My great-great-grandfather,
oh my God,
Burgess, came to America, shackled in the belly of a slave ship. He was sold on an auction block in Charleston, South.
Yeah, I know Darky's a slur. See, the joke is that I'm the white person who gave them the money to make this video. Hold on. I can't believe we're opening with this.
South Carolina, to the Burgess plantation. Orphaned by age 8, he was fortunately surrounded by elder slaves who, though physically chained, mentally envisioned themselves as free men.
What? What is this opening revisionism? And he was with his family. Though chained physically, they envisioned themselves as free men. Damn. What I wouldn't give to be a black slave in the 19th century.
They escaped, taking young Silas with them, making their way to West Texas. Silas worked hard and saved his money. Eventually, he became an owner of 102 acres of farmland.
I love it. I love it. Every single time it's one of these people. Every time it's a fucking black racist grifter. Every single time. My daddy was a slave, but then eventually he came to own slaves, or basically the equivalent, and that's why the system is fine.
Which he cultivated and paid off within 2 years.
Damn.
I proudly carry the name of my first American ancestor, who, like me,
Burgess Owens, entrepreneur and former Oakland Raiders Super Bowl 15 champion. Wait, so this guy doesn't even have any political... Entrepreneur means nothing. former Super Bowl champion. Okay, cool. Excellent. Nice. So we have a rich guy who made his money playing sports ball and is an entrepreneur in some vague sense. Yeah, let's Google him. Burgess Owens. I love seeing the people, the fucking menagerie they bring to us. 6'2", age 70 or 68 years, 1 year away from 69. Played 10 seasons in the NFL for the New York Jets and Oakland Raiders. What's this entrepreneur work? Is this literally just a sports ball man? Is this a sporter? Married with 6 children and is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. Okay, heavily religious. Owens is the author of an ebook with the title It's All About Team, Exposing the Black Talented 10th. The book examines how the black community has fared since the start of the 20th century, especially in following the thinking of W.E.B. Du Bois and progressive liberalism. Owens is also the author of Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. Which offers a history and analysis of the black experience of the United States with suggestions for moving past conventional ideas of moving the black community forward. Okay, so in other words, Dems are the real racists, liberalism is cancer, Republicans and hard work and bootstrapping is how the blacks need to get their shit in line. Okay, gotcha, cool. In 2018, Owens released Why I Stand. Which discusses socialism as the driving force behind modern American socio-political movements. Frequent guest contributor on Fox News. On June 19th, 2019, he was one of many to speak to a House committee on the topic of reparations for slavery, wherein he promoted the idea that the Democratic Party, not the American taxpayer, should pay reparations. Ha! Man, I wish I could grift that hard. So, to clarify, this is a person who has done nothing in their life except play sports ball, and then they wrote a bunch of books, and now for some reason they're a guest contributor on Fox News. They'll take anyone, any fucking black person who will speak out against black people, any fucking black person who could be handed a stack of money and be told to say, well, actually, it's the Democrats and liberalism and welfare culture that are the problem. If black people pulled their pants up and stopped listening to rap music, then they could go ahead and do something with their lives. And they're all the same fucking person every single time. They've done nothing. This guy has nothing. He's a sports ball player. He's sports baller. He's a sportser and a baller. Incredible. You guys thought that was a fucking black voice? Jesus fucking... you're fucking memeing me. Fuck off. With only 4 defensive touchdowns. I don't even know what those are. 30 interceptions after playing for 10 years? Is that good or is that bad? How many interceptions is good? For 10 years. This is bad, right? Damn, maybe he should have pulled himself up by his bootstraps and gotten 31 interception over 10 years. Well, what are you gonna do? They'll pay any fucking black guy. Hey, want to come on Fox News and have your voice heard by millions? Oh, you have no qualifications whatsoever and just play sports? Oh, that's okay, as long as you speak the party line. Let's do it.
Millions of others, drawn or brought to our country, struggle past overwhelming obstacles to live the American dream.
There's something very off about his face. Can somebody help me diagnose this problem? I feel like we're in with another case of like the Skyrim face. There's something off here. Is it the eyes? I feel like there's too much space like between his nose and his lip. It feels like someone moved. Actually, it just feels like everything below the nose is really like smooth and flat. I think he looks like he was carved out of marble. Anyway, it's a pattern. Every single time we have a PragerU guest, there's always something.
Salas founded the first black church, the first black elementary school in this town. He was a Republican, a Christian, and a pillar of his community.
Damn. Source on that last point? Pillar of his community?
He was proud and industrious and taught his children to be the same.
Source?
Now, because great-great-grandpa Salas was once a slave, so-called progressives want to give me money.
Hey, I want to make it known, by the way, I'm not actually in favor of reparations. I just don't think they're very effective at dealing with the problems they're supposed to deal with. I'm just making it clear, okay, guys? That's all I'm saying. Not in favor of reparations. I'm in favor of the sentiment behind reparations, massive infrastructural overhaul and community investment to help bring up black communities to par with white communities. I don't think reparations are a good way to go about it. Okay? But I don't know if I would go so far as to say that black people don't want and don't deserve reparations. So I still feel like I'm going to disagree with this guy a little bit.
Never mind that, like him, I'm an entrepreneur.
Also, wait.
All progressives want to.
I love the guilt button, by the way. Do we all take a look at that right there? I love that guilt button. By the way, that's what we mean by reparations, Vosh? No, Flevier, that's not typically what people talk about when they talk about reparations. They literally mean like finding black people and giving them amount based on their heritage. Like that's usually what people mean when they say reparations. Look at that, what the white guilt button. That's like that's kind of like calling people an Uncle Tom, you know? Hey, you're an Uncle Tom. You only you only care about white people because you fucking hate black people or whatever. Oh, you got white guilt. Like it's nice. It's the duality right here.
To give me money. Never mind that, like him, I'm an entrepreneur who received an excellent education, built businesses, raised a remarkable family, and unlike most white Americans...
This has nothing to do with the point here. Who the fuck cares? Whether or not... I'm sorry. If my fucking family gets shot and I get fucking compensation for that shit, I can't turn around and say, oh, you want to give me compensation even though I'm a streamer and an entrepreneur and I make six figures? That you want to give me compensation? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? The sentiment of reparations has absolutely nothing to do with your personal level of wealth. Also, you're not a fucking entrepreneur. Nothing in your Wikipedia page said anything of the sort. You've released some ebooks and you played sports ball for 10 years, okay? Your mediocrity has propelled you to Fox News for no reason other than your race. You have played the race card, my friend, and that is some fucking cringe posting because here, in the marketplace of ideas, I am interested only in the axioms.
Americans earned a Super Bowl ring because of work I've never done, stripes I've never had, under whip I've never known. These progressives...
What did he just say?
Most white Americans earned a Super Bowl ring because of work I've never done, stripes I've never had, under whip I've never known. These progressives want to give me money.
Who the fuck wrote that line?
I've never earned. The fact that this money will be...
It's not about earning. Remember, the point of reparations isn't like, oh, you personally suffered slavery. What the fuck kind of point is this? What, does he think that like, oh yeah, I haven't personally been enslaved and whipped? Excellent. But there are many other black people. Wait, what? No? Nobody alive today was a fucking slave. Though there are many, well, not here in America, not conventionally. That's not typically what we refer to. There are plenty of slaves alive today in the world, unfortunately. Now there are people alive today who were alive under Jim Crow laws. But we're mostly talking about slavery here. But whether, like, what is this point? Like, I've never personally experienced slavery. It's not about earning it as an individual. It's about compensating a broader racial community for injustices committed against them, because those injustices have had reciprocal effects down the line, even over a century later.
Be forcibly taken from others who also dreamed, worked, and sacrificed for it. I'm told
the classic argument. Anytime you're using tax money to do something good, you're actually stealing from the hard-earned taxpayer. Hey, don't worry. They're stealing from black people too, okay? Equally.
Not my concern, but it is. At the core of the reparations movement is a distorted and demeaning view of blacks and whites.
I'm ready.
It grants superiority to the white...
Whoa! Why the fuck does the white guy look like a fish? And the black guy doesn't. This is racism.
Race, treating them as an oppressive people too powerful for black Americans to overcome.
This is it's the same argument literally every single fucking time. Let's go over the video's point together. So, people are a product of their environment. Whether or not you succeed in life is in large part contingent on environmental factors in your upbringing. How good of parents did you have? Did you grow up with a lot of money? Did you grow up in a good school district? Did you grow up in an area that had a lot of job opportunities available? Did you have a lot of family members who had connections that could get you in with businesses? Whether or not you have these things make a pretty huge difference in whether or not you're likely to succeed. Now, there are going to be people who succeed in spite of the worst circumstances, and there will be people who fail in spite of the best. But, broadly speaking, people tend to stick to the ends. It's called generational poverty. People who are born poor are likely to stay poor. People who are born rich are likely to stay rich. Makes sense, right? The problem is, due to a lot of economic policies that descended from slavery, the black community in America as a whole has remained poor, very poor, for quite a long time. You had Jim Crow laws, but even after you've abolished that, the poverty has remained. Why is that? Why haven't they pushed themselves up by the bootstraps? Well, because white communities have disproportionately benefited from the society in which they live. Black communities have not. Black communities have dealt with quite a bit of baggage, both emotionally and materially, since slavery, since Jim Crow. Those things cannot be compensated for by individuals doing really extra super good and pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. If you believe that, you do not believe in like the concept of like environmental influence. You wouldn't believe in things like marketing or advertising. You wouldn't believe in things like targeted sales. If you don't believe that people are influenced by their environment, then you don't believe in how society functions. You're delusional. You operate in your own misty brain bubble, you know? Over here, it's like the fucking Bloodborne level up here in your head, you know? When you're fighting the dude with the fucking chain over his head, the big cage. You know what I'm talking about? You're running around, there's smoke and mirrors, there's a skeleton. Ah! But you're fucking running. Where am I going? I don't know, and you're trapped there forever. That is your reality. That is the reality that you live in if you don't believe environment influences outcomes. Now, if you believe that environment influences outcomes, which it does, and if you don't believe that, you're a fucking idiot, and you should log on to Minecraft, find the nearest ravine, and then safely descend it to get the resources below. There might be gold, iron, or even lapis lazuli down there, but probably not diamond. Ravines don't go that far from the surface. Anyway, if you don't believe that, then go have fun on Minecraft. If you do believe that, however, then you must recognize that these things, these problems, and these benefits are cyclical. So a white person is statistically more likely to succeed than a black person for the reasons illustrated prior, that black people have experienced more generational problems. And the only way to solve this imbalance is through institutional reform, because it was institutional reform that created those problems in the first place. It's not like black people all just lost their bootstraps and became slaves, you know? It's not like black people all just individually failed in life and that led to them being subjected to Jim Crow laws and separate but equal laws. It was institutional. And as the problems were institutional, so too must the solutions be. It's that simple. If you disagree with that, it's either because you have a fundamental misunderstanding of one of the most basic components of human behavior, or, and this is more likely, because you're being paid money by billionaires who are interested in keeping blacks where they are, which is in the dirt. If you buy into this shit, it is because you are either knowingly or unknowingly complicit in and delighted by a society which keeps black people in their place.
It brands blacks as hapless victims, devoid of the ability which every other culture possesses to assimilate and to progress.
Black people, this is kind of fucking racist. Black people have assimilated and progressed just fine. Nobody is saying otherwise. They're just not at par with white folk, and that's because of institutional problems. It's always this line, oh, Democrats just think all black people are victims. Cool. Because, you know, billionaire-funded propaganda will rely on any degree of sophistry if it means having to enable and perpetuate the systems that keep black people in their place.
The reparations movement conveniently forgets the 150 years of legal, social, and economic progress obtained.
No, it doesn't. There's nothing to do with that. What the fuck are you talking about?
By millions of American minorities. It also minimizes the sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of white Americans.
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
And a Republican president who gave them
Republican president. Remember that. Guys, remember. Guys, listen very carefully, okay? The Southern strategy never happened. There was never a huge demographic shift. It's a coincidence, okay? That fucking Abe Lincoln had correspondences with Karl fucking Marx, and that back in those days the Democrats were the ones who ran with the KKK, and nowadays the Republicans run with the KKK. And the KKK leaders constantly endorse Republican leaders, even though the KKK's values have stayed the same. It's a complete coincidence. There was no ideological shift that changed between the parties. The Southern strategy never happened. Karl Marx never corresponded with fucking Abraham Lincoln, okay? Hey, look, let's get back to this. Thank you for our history lesson.
their lives to eradicate slavery.
So explain to me how exactly wanting to use institutional power to correct institutional imbalances in our society ignores the sacrifices of Union soldiers. Can somebody? I actually can't. Maybe if I listen to it again.
Millions of American minorities. It also minimizes the sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of white Americans and a Republican president who gave their lives to eradicate slavery.
I'm missing the chain of logic here.
I think Grandpa Silas would have seen this loss of American lives as payment in full.
Oh, sorry for enslaving you for 300 years, then keeping you in Jim Crow for 100 years after that, and still having you have 1/30th of the household wealth of the average white family. A war happened. Okay.
Every grateful Black American, then and now, will feel the same.
What a fucking Uncle Tom. Can you imagine? Like, this is literally like the history they're trying to paint. Oh, the blacks just had a little kerfluffle, got themselves into some slavery. You know, the blacks sold themselves to the Europeans, really. The Europeans were just taking advantage of a market they were providing. And after millions of white soldiers died to save their lives, the grateful blacks then licked at their feet and said, yes, we will now do our best to live decent, dignified lives like you, and not our degenerate black lives where we sing, like plantation songs and what have you. But then the rap music happened, and the Democrats happened, and from then on, the blacks have wallowed in things like being bad, drugs, continuing to do bad things, not being able to single-handedly overwrite generations of systemic oppression, and other things that aren't helpful. Not wearing belts. Yeah.
The reparations movement also reinforces a view
There is no reparations movement. It's just like a talk that's being had.
of racial relationships that undermines America's Judeo-Christian foundation.
More the Judeo-Christian Foundation. Hey, fucking PragerU. Hey, Dennis Prager, I know a lot of Nazis who take issue with you lumping Christian and Jewish values together. Also, there is nothing about this that undermines the Judeo-Christian Foundation. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can parse this out in my brain, okay? Watch, I'm going to parse this out in my brain. It undermines Judeo-Christian foundations because those ones are all about hard work and individuality and not treating each other badly for their race or whatever, okay? And it undermines it by acknowledging that racism exists. We are undermining that system. Vosh, please go over Lincoln knowing Marx. This is so new to me. It's what do you mean? What is there to go over? Lincoln's inspiration for freeing the slaves came after a correspondence with Karl Marx. Lincoln was in part a fan of Marx's ideas, and Marx urged Lincoln to free the slaves. Like they corresponded.
It defies the ideals of forgiveness and second chances and
What the fuck?
scorns individual accountability. Proponents of reparations
Just slipping that on by, huh? It violates Judeo-Christian values,
Judeo-Christian
such as
foundation. It defies the ideals of forgiveness,
which is anti-reparation. What?
and second chances and
Second chances, which is anti-reparation. Okay.
scorns individual accountability.
Scorns individual accountability. How? This is wild. Like, all right. I feel like the earlier PragerU videos were more related to reality, but the problem is, as the audience for PragerU gets more and more radicalized, you need to divulge even like further, and you need to like run further and further away from reality. Yo, I don't think that's how it went down. If I recall correctly, Marx wrote to Lincoln telling him how cool it was for freeing the slaves. If that's the case, I'm mistaken. Hold on really quickly. One way or another, like they corresponded. Marx, Lincoln, correspondence. Abraham Lincoln, as president, chose to reply to an address from the London-based International Workingmen's Commission. The address, drafted by Marx, congratulated Lincoln on his re-election for a second term. The address heralded the world historical significance of what had become a war against slavery, declared that victory for the North would be a turning point for 19th century politics, an affirmation of free labor, and a defeat for most reactionary capitalists who rely on slavery and racial oppression. Lincoln only saw a tiny selection of the avalanche of mail he was sent, sending several secretaries to deal with it. Write the address, encouraging every sign of support, Emancipation Proclamation, address carried. Excellent. Okay, so Marx congratulated Lincoln on the war to free the slaves, and Lincoln responded to that address. Here's a good vid on Lincoln and Marx with sources. Interesting. Lincoln, Republican Marxist, The Forgotten History, from Cinema Night. With a variety of sources, too. Nice. Anyway, we're not going over this right now, but nonetheless, point's pretty secured. Yeah, Marx was a Lincoln reply guy. It's true.
Proponents of reparations believe that Black Americans are incapable of carrying their own burdens.
You know, I keep being told this, but yeah, I do think that an individual Black person is incapable of dealing with the burdens of centuries of systemic oppression. I completely believe that. I believe that all people are products of their environment, and if people are suffering from systemic problems, systemic solutions are the only possible solution. This is one of the ways, by the way, in which liberalism enables racism. I know this is a point that Destiny has fucked up on in the past as well. It's not just capitalism, it's liberalism. The hyper-obsession with individuality allows people who want to perpetuate racism the option to shift problems that are systemic in nature and place that burden on the individuals. So now, this person right here is saying essentially that Black people need to be held accountable for their failure to not meet parity with white people following hundreds of years of slavery and a century afterwards, essentially, of racial oppression. And that is a product of liberalism. This is liberalism right here. But it's so ahistorical and so based on misinformation that we're veering pretty hard into fascism. Not that this is new for, Prager University.
While white Americans must bear the sins of those who came before them.
Who the fuck said anything about white people bearing sins? No one has ever told me I bear sins for slavery. Nobody has ever fucking said that to me. And I'm white as shit.
Proponents do not take into account the majority of white Americans who never owned slaves.
What the fuck are we what the fuck are we talking about? It's not reparations isn't white people paying Black people. Guys, I see some ethno-nationalism here. All arguments for reparations that are taking place right now would just be the government compensating Black people. This guy is saying it would be white people compensating Black people. A little bit racist to conflate the government and the institutions we live with white people, isn't it, huh? It kind of makes it sound like we live in a white ethno-state where anything done for Black people by the state is charity from one race to another. That's a little interesting conflation right there. I'm not interested in feeling guilty about the fact that my parents or grandparents or what have you were white. I don't know anyone who is. And even in the worst elements of the woke scoldy community, which I engage with all the time, I have never fucking met a leftist who's been like, whiteys should feel ashamed for their history of slavery. I have never seen this happen once.
Who fought to end slavery or came to...
Wait! Excuse me?
The white Americans who never owned slaves.
So white Americans who never owned slaves.
Who fought to end slavery.
No, they fucking didn't. Every Union soldier is dead. Look at this fucking double standard Andy over here. Oh, God. All white people alive never owned slaves. But by the way, these are the white people who died to free the slaves. Holy shit. Can you fucking imagine being this fucking dishonest?
Or came to America long after it was ended.
Not fucking all white people came long after it. And also, no one's fucking blaming white people. No one is out here blaming white people for slavery. I don't see that shit.
This divisive message marks the Black race is forever broken.
What? What was that sentence?
This divisive message marks the Black race is forever broken.
This divisive message marks a Black race forever broken. Why did they give this guy fucking purple pros? This is the third time in this video he's tried to come off flowery. They normally don't do that in PragerU videos.
A people whose healing can only come through the guilt, pity, and benevolence of whites.
Well, again, I'm sorry. Reparations coming from the state, my dude. Fucking Black president was just 2-3 years ago. I don't know why we're so obsessed with painting a government program, which would be a multiracial coalition of legislators working to provide institutional support for institutional problems as white people helping Black people. That's kind of fucking weird. That's a little bit strange. Really does kind of push the white ethno-state value, doesn't it? It really sounds like it.
Tragically, we now see this playing out on our college campuses.
Oh, I know. And it's always coming back to the college campuses. Tell me more about these imaginary people who hold ridiculous, untenable positions that you will now strawman the shit out of anyway.
As young white Americans acknowledge their skin color as a privilege.
Yes. Yes, so does everyone who understands race relations. Yes.
Young black Americans with no apparent shame accept their
With no apparent shame.
skin color as one that automatically confers victim status.
I have never heard this victim thing ever pushed by anyone other than right-leaning people. It wouldn't be they're victims. We accept victim. I've never heard this. I've been on college campuses. Can somebody find this for me? Wait, please, somebody find me a group of black people who are running around with signs being like, "We are the victims. We are the victims." I never see this. This is right-leaning people ascribing a label to them. Black people don't run around saying they're victims. Black people, at least black college people, I don't fucking know what non-college people say because I'm a bougie academic elite, but fucking black people in college would be like, you have white privilege, you benefit from being white. There are institutional forces at work that that benefit you on account of your white skin. This is not the case for me. I do not have white privilege. That's it. It's that simple. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's the easiest thing in the world. But of course, not easy enough for a PragerU video talking point.
In doing so, they seem unaware that this perception of blacks was shared by the 1960s Southern white supremacists of my youth.
I love it. The Southern white supremacists gotta mark the fact that they're all Democrats. Excellent. God, PragerU is such good fucking propaganda. Lie about every single fucking point that comes in front of you. Present information that is misleading. Even when you are telling the truth, frame it in a way that presents a false narrative. I love it. There was no Southern strategy, guys. One of the most documented political shifts in the history of the country, it didn't take place. It's inconvenient for their narrative, okay? It didn't take place. Guys, if there was any credibility whatsoever to their narrative that Democrats were the real racists, then they would be able to argue that point without constantly lying and pretending that Democrats today are the same Democrats who 150 years ago were commandeering the South. But they can't do that, and they don't do that because their argumentation is based entirely on a reliance on the ahistorical knowledge of their audience. It is impossible to be a conservative without being either a liar or subhumanly stupid. There's no other way to justify the creation of this propaganda. A child could see through this, but not the people in the comments section. Not the people in the comments section. I don't know. Maybe they're all like sub-children. Maybe they're all like infants or something. Maybe there's like a baby pass that's like required before you can comment on a PragerU video, you know? You put forward the baby pass, you know? I'm 4 years old and I think that black people should be as good as white people and they should work hard like my daddy does. 1,428 likes, 62 comments. What were we even saying? Okay, so these black people who recognize correctly that they don't have white privilege are playing into the what?
Blacks was shared by the 1960s Southern white supremacists of my youth. Those who seek reparations have accepted the theory that skin color alone is capable of making one race superior to the other.
Jesus Christ. Nope, skin color alone is this guy is actually talking as though there was no such thing as racism. Skin color alone is capable of making one race superior to another. How do you know I believe that? Because I believe that we are victims of racism. What the fuck? Yeah, this is
condescending theory supremacy.
This is precisely what these fucking dudes believed in.
They seem unaware that this perception of blacks was shared by the 1960s Southern white supremacists of my youth.
The 1960s Southern white supremacists were also of the belief that some people are victims of systemic racism and that society should orient its resources towards addressing that systemic inequality. Yes! Correct! Nicely done! That is precisely what they believe.
Those who seek reparations have accepted the theory that skin color alone is capable of making one race superior to the other.
This guy could literally do this talking point if someone walked up to him and was like, hey, racism exists. This isn't a black voice. Fuck you. This guy sounds like he's talking full of marbles. He was in the fucking NFL for 10, 12 years, okay? He's fucking got fucking mouth concussions, all right? You see, by saying you're a racist, you are actually playing into the white people that did bad back then because they believed that you can be better than other people if you're racist, and by calling out racism, you're saying racism is true, not that it exists, but true. That's a black voice? I'm sorry. Everything sounds like a black voice to you fucking people. You're right. Here, I'll compensate for the rest of the video. I'll do a white voice.
That with no additional effort, values, or personal initiative, white Americans will succeed.
What the
with
fuck?
no additional effort, values.
No additional effort? I don't know what he means by that. No values? Who said anything about these people's values? That's very strange. These are weird attributions of their character that have nothing to do with the previous argument and seem more oriented around dogpiling them with a bunch of points that are hard to refute because they have absolutely no basis in reality. You accuse them of having no values with no evidence, and I can't make any counter-accusation because I have no evidence of their values because they're people that you made up. Wow.
Or personal initiative.
No personal initiative. Why are we what who the fuck are these people? These three black people in the bottom right corner. Who are they? What do you mean no personal initiative? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. They're imaginary people that you made up. What do you mean no personal initiative?
White Americans will succeed while black Americans will fail.
Unless they do something about it. That's the point. It's funny, they're like, these people have no personal initiative when they're literally taking a stand against injustice. Watch the conservative shits will they'll be moved to tears. The Union soldiers, the white people should be, we should all feel gracious for their service. They stepped forward and saved the blacks. You know, and they'll fucking jerk themselves raw. They'll fucking shoot ropes everywhere. It's a rope fucking party over here. You could pull this together and make fucking cords out of the fucking cum they're shooting out in every fucking direction, fucking jerking themselves off, thinking about the Union soldiers or about the fucking nationalists who fought against the fucking British loyalists back during the fucking 18th century. Because fighting against injustice, there's no greater glory. Yes, our good American soldiers. Yes, our good Americans. Yes, yes. Fighting injustice. Yes, that's what America does. Spreading democracy abroad. Yes. Yes. What is this boot? A Giuseppe Zanobi? Yes, thank you, sir. But then, when we're talking about people who are standing up against actual injustice, they'll be like, these people have no personal values. Because at the end of the day, their ascriptions as to whether or not a fight is glorious or not has nothing to do with the legitimacy of the problem or its existence or anything like that. It has to do with whether or not they believe those people are in the right. And they believe they were in the right when they revolted against the British, and they believe they're in the right, at least they believe it now, when they glorify the Union soldiers who defeated the South, even though they will then actually disrespect the memory of those Union soldiers by arguing that all those hackneyed fucking shit-ass Confederate statues should be kept up across the South, something which would actually be disrespectful to the legacy of the Union soldiers. But then someone fighting against systemic injustice? I don't know. No personal values.
At its very core, this represents the condescending evil of
from this fucking guy. Fucking kill yourself.
Racism. It certainly does not represent black America's potential. 40% of black households today live the middle-class American dream.
What the fuck does that mean? 40% of black American households live the middle-class dream? Isn't that another way of saying that the majority of black households are in poverty? What the fuck kind of argument is that? And that's also a lie, by the way. Because 40% of America is not in the middle class. That is absolutely a lie. By living the middle class dream, maybe they mean having a refrigerator. And also, even with this lie statistic, not sourced, by the way, never source any statistics, even with this lie, the best they can muster before people started to crack up. You can see people in the editing room, by the way. They're like, how many people should we say, like, how many black people should we say are living the middle class American dream? And they'll go like, well, how many actually are? Like fucking... like 15%, 10% or whatever. Okay. What if we made it like, guys, what if we made it like 40? Dude, really? 40? Nobody's gonna buy that. Nah. Okay. No, like just 40, dude. Yeah, it's 40. Yeah, the 40% of black people are middle class. And we aren't gonna say what the rest of them are, so it's implied they're all like CEOs or like bougie or some shit. Even with this, they are saying the majority of black people live in poverty.
There are thousands of black Americans among our nation's top 1% of income earners.
Oh, they cited this one. Damn. There are thousands of black people in the top 1% of income earners. Well, America has a population of about 320 million people. So, if you take 1% of that population, you then get 3.2 million people, of which tens of thousands are black. Damn. Let's actually look really quick. Let's look at that actual. Yes, please, Araxiel. Thank you. I love it. The state of America's wealthy black people. There are 1.2 million households in the top 1% of net worth, and over 96% are white. Look at this. That doesn't mean that less than 4% are black. That means less than 4% are black, Latino, and Asian. Only 1.4% of them are black. 16,800. Even in the stats that Prager University provides, even in the stats they provide and source, they're so confident about it, they source them. They're showing that despite the fact that the ratio of white people to black people is about, 60% by 13%? So it'd be about 4 to 1, maybe 4.5 to 1. In spite of that, the ratio of them in the top 1% is 96 to 1.4, meaning that that if you're black, you are infinitely less likely to be wealthy. Holy shit. This is what they feel comfortable citing. But how do we cite this, sir? Sir, the statistic makes it look as though black people are systemically fucked in a way that would require reparations to address. Don't worry. We'll just say it's thousands of people in the top 1% income earners who are black. That's it. We'll rely on our audience being actually fucking brain dead for them to sort of carry the slack there.
Doctors, lawyers.
Oh, what was that? Oh, PragerU. Where did that number stop?
Among our nation's top 1% of income earners.
Ooh, you kept cycling up past the 17,000. That's kind of weird. Because in this document, it stops at 16,800, the document you cite. No wonder you didn't want to provide the specific number. You just said tens of thousands and imply it goes up further than this, even though you actually show the video's number ticker going beyond what's shown in the fucking stats. Could be households versus people. They don't have the stats on people, only on households.
Doctors, lawyers, engineers, and professors. Not to mention music, TV, film, and sports stars.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Nobody needs reparations and there's no systemic racism because some black people are famous. A very small minority compared to how many white people are.
Many of our society's most revered and celebrated citizens are black. The journeys of these Americans to wealth and prominence vary, like those of their white counterparts. But many benefited from having ancestors like Grandpa Salas.
Many benefited from having ancestors in slavery. Please, just do it. Just do it. As a black man, I am offended. As a black man, I benefited from the slavery of my ancestors. Why are you taking that away from me? Are you implying there was something wrong with my ancestors being enslaved by saying that we need reparations for it? I find that highly offensive. Why are you disrespecting the legacy of my family?
Who embraced the opportunities their country provided and who left behind a legacy of proud, productive, patriotic, and
Dude, you're literally just a fucking sports star. Don't get fucking too big of a head.
Successful families. Why should white Americans, my neighbors, friends, and fellow citizens, owe me anything?
Why again? White versus he's doing it. He's doing the ethno-state argument again. White people giving money to black people. It's actually the state giving money to black people. Oh well. You know, this is white people, the state, whatever. It's it's white people's country. I'm just a Negro. I just take what I can. I live with it. I don't want to complain. I don't want to speak out. And look at all the money they give me for not speaking out. Well, by not speaking out, I mean speaking out against my people, not for them. I'm just sort of just a stupid idiot. I got told a bunch of racial slurs when I was 14 years old, and I took it to heart, and I've just kind of kept, I've kept in line with the whitey ever since, licking them boots.
If Grandpa Silas were here, I'm certain his message to everyone, whether black or white, would simply be this: good character cannot be bought by bribery.
What the fuck does that mean? I love that at the end. This whole time we're talking about systemic racism, and this quote at the end implies that we're trying to pay black people to be better people. I literally couldn't try to be as racist as this guy, as this fucking black guy. I could not try. I'm not capable of it.
I'm Burgess Owens for Prager University.
Okay, so the real question is, do I actually, when I make this a YouTube video, do I actually put in Uncle Tom in the title? Do I actually go for it? I'm thinking it. I'm real fucking mad right now. Maybe I'll calm down by the time it comes. I should do it. PragerU platform's literal Uncle Tom blames blacks for slavery. I can see it. I can see it in the feed now. Say Uncle Ruckus. Nephew Tom. What about Grandpa Tom? He's pretty old. All right. I want to kill myself. Can we just talk to chat for a little bit? How you guys doing? I can't do another PragerU video. I need a fucking cooldown. This shit is actual fucking cancer. Holy shit. Hold on. Ugh. Let me open up the window. It's warm in here. I love imagining the PragerU video and all the white people watching it, and they're like clapping their hands like, yeah, I knew it. Ha, this black knows his place. I love it. That's my shit right there. That makes me fucking splooge. I love splooging. Do we got any sploogers in chat? Can I get a hypers if you consider yourself a splooger? If you identify as a splooger? Now that's some good ass shit right there. Let me go over donos. Captain Gingy with the $5. Having U.S. military officer training. Your take on urban warfare is on point. Recommend reading Shay's Guerrilla Warfare. Oh shit, that's right. Che Guevara actually did write on that. Fuck yeah, I did it. Guys, I'm so cool. I'm basically like a soldier. Watch my tactical role. Watch. All right. It was a 90-degree roll, which is when you just fall backward. Okay. Can we focus? I'd like to discuss reparations with you. I think they'd help more than you think. No, Moose, we're not going to end up agreeing. I mean, we're not going to end up disagreeing on anything. I've talked about reparations before. My big brain take is infinitely big brain. All good. It's all good. What about the keloids, Nino? Hell yeah. All right. Tiny Arms activate with a tier 1 sub. Just letting you know I'm pretty settled in my flat, so if you want to do a world politics / anarchist talk, I'm ready. Tiny Arms activate. Oh, no, yeah, I got your email. I just haven't got back to it yet. It's just been a busy few days, by which I mean my entire life is busy now. No, we're 100% going to talk soon. 100% comrade. Camaraderoni. Camaraderino. Conradaloo. My family likes PragerU. Should I shotgun or rope myself? Shotgun, so you leave more of a mess for them. As long as you live with them, rope if you don't. John F. with the $2. Prager is LARPing as a university. I mean, barely. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a lib in chat. Libraven, do poor black communities deserve an economic bailout more than poor white and other ethnic communities? Yes, because we did more to fuck over the black communities than we did any other. It's not like paying them back. We're literally mending existing harm. The average household wealth of a black family is like 1/30th or something of the average household wealth of a white family. It's a huge disparity. It needs to be addressed. I'm not saying that we shouldn't like help other poor communities. I want not reparations, but I want like infrastructural rebuilding in all of these areas. However, it's unquestionable that black communities need it the most. Sure, we should help those at the bottom of society regardless of race. It's precisely because of that and statistical imbalances you use as justification that approach with black people, letting other ethnicities fall through the cracks. Focusing on the wrong thing. Libraven, it's not. This is like a common lib argument right here. It's like, why would you want to help black people? Shouldn't you just help poor people? Well, no. Even without the poverty, black communities face specific issues that are specific to their race, not just their poverty. It can't all be targeted economically. And for two, you generally need some kind of unifying factor that allows you to mass the political will to make those kind of reparations or build that shit. It needs to be done. Now, I'm not saying don't help anyone else or whatever. My ideal policy would be a really strong national infrastructural revitalization program that'll pour billions or even hundreds of billions into poor neighborhoods all across the country, rebuilding them, building out new housing. It'd be a very long-term process, but it could be done. And it would mostly target black communities because black communities are disproportionately affected. But if it targets a mostly not black community, then that's okay for that too. Here, natives need help the most. Yeah, native communities are also pretty fucked. But in America, we can't do much because a lot of them live out of the country. Hating on Gloria Farrow with the $5. Thank you. Vosh, are you an idiot? The ass is self-cleaning, you absolute cock. This is partially true. You're going to throw off people's pH levels with your bourgeois clean scolding. I'm going back to non-compete where wiping my ass isn't needed. Have fun hating on Gloria Farrow, okay? Have a good ass time, all the poopy butt non-compete boys, okay? Poopy butt non-compete boys. That's what I'm talking about. Pee-pee poo-poo non-compete poopy butt boys. Oh, I know, Flavier, and that's why I want all of this to be framed through infrastructural revitalization, not through individual donations, because that shit is dumb as fuck. Bengus Khan with the $20. Thank you. Jesus. I don't know how Dave Rubin lives with himself. It is so humiliating to be a tool for conservatives. I would just like to find out what's behind those cold eyes. There's got to be something to claw through that disguise. Also, meep, meep. Indeed. I don't know. I mean, he makes a lot of money grifting, right? Also, let us not discount this. A lot of gay people fantasize about getting raped by a straight boy while being called a faggot. Maybe, not being edgy, that is true. Maybe Dave Rubin is politically externalizing his desire to be fucked over by the system. For anyone who's question marking, you have never been in a gay community. I'm really sorry. This happens. This is talked about all the time. Gosh, I'm only talking about economic because the conversation is all about reparations. Reparations wouldn't just be an economic process, though. Systemic racism needs tackling, of course. This just seems like a weird act of historical vengeance. How is it? It's not vengeance. No one's being hurt. A community was specifically targeted. It's not like black people became poor through chance. They became poor because there were literally government policies that made them poor. It's not about analyzing the past or repairing or engaging in vengeance with anyone. It's a thing. Jesus Christ, is Vosh fucking with us? What are you talking about? Okay, Moose, I understand that, but usually when people talk about reparations, they talk about just giving money to black people. Anyway, yeah, so maybe that's it for Dave Rubin. Wait, did that soar over you? The gay rape thing? Wait, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get fucking triggered right now. If you've ever been in a gay community, a gay community where they're salacious, Rape kinks are super common, and fetishization of straight guys are super common, and being told that you get turned on when you're called a faggot or you imagine being called a faggot by like a straight guy as they fuck you is super common. I'm really sorry, guys. This happens all the time. This is super fucking common. Kinks are literally just like sexual pathologized, sexualized versions of like insecurity, okay? Like it's just super fucking... It's just a really... I just see it all the time. Like, I can't... I know how many of you guys are gay. I've seen this so often. I felt like I would say it and everyone in chat would just go, true! But instead of everyone going, true! People were like, what the fuck, Vosh? Rape is bad. Damn, really? Rape is bad? Holy shit. I'm learning right here. I'm learning here today that rape is bad. Thank you for helping me with this learning experience. All right. Aurora with the $2. Sports baller is Jesse Lee Peterson's brother. Honestly, those were like JLP tier takes, 100%. Araxio with the $2.25. Conservatives. Racism doesn't exist, but if it did exist, you'd be the real racist. But also, the real problem is urban culture. Ha! Got him. You're right. Vosh, I made us rice. What do you want with it? Hyena, I want a fucking burrito. I want a big fat, I want a fucking honker, okay? I want a burrito that is so fat that I will look at it and feel the muscle fibers in my lats and my traps repair as the protein is broken down and the fucking protein juices are pumped into my sore muscles following the workout. Only one, or do you want two? I don't know, Hyena. I just want to get fucked up on burritos, honestly. Oh, nicely done, come on, man. Holy shit. I'm still working on 2 right now. Anyway. Frosty TO with the $5. Thank you. Yeah, guys, let's just chat. Hey, if you're in YouTube chat and you want to talk with me, just come in fucking v.gg, okay? You can create an account super duper easy. I stream all the time. It'll be worth your time, all right? Come on in. If you eat the burrito with fucking ketchup on unsubscribing, okay, well then I'm not eating it on stream. I want to keep that sub. Frosty TO with the $5. Black NFL players are a bunch of ungrateful, overpaid, anti-American thugs. Unless, of course, they agree with our politics. Prager University. Damn, that's what I'm saying. Don't you hate it when those uppity, muscly... people fucking play sports ball and then kneel? Yamero. Every time I see Yamero in chat, it makes me want to fucking kerchuckle. Oh my fucking god. Hail Kvarforth with the $50. What the fuck? You're sponsoring these streams. I need to put your fucking name up here. Name up here. It can be right up here. Okay? Property of. That's what I'm saying. Straight out of the shower, comrades. Dick and all is clean as fuck. Also, Vosh for general of our great revolutionary army. And can I get a fuck FRP? They're Norway's far-right party for reference. Fuck the FRP. Dairy Cipher don't actually do it. No one will ever buy me. It's all voluntary. It's all consensual. Fuck FRP. Fuck them. Consensually, but it's a bad fuck. Ooh, it's a bad fuck, let me tell you. Hey, listen, when you fuck FRP, it's consensual. They ask for it. It's all good, okay? But it's a real bad fuck. Condom breaks. Got to put another one on. Lose a little bit of the condom in the pussy or in the asshole, whatever it may be. Let's go asshole, gender neutral. It's up there, you know? You got to spend 20-minute fishing for that. You got to get the fucking clothing line to go up the asshole, like bend it back so there's no sharp end at the end. It's sort of wiggle it in and try and catch the little bit of the condom. It's like a whole fucking process. Basically doing an asshole abortion, and instead... Roman Tech, I'm not in favor of a national $15 an hour minimum wage for that reason exactly. It would like devastate the economies of a lot of small towns. Now, in big cities, in tons of places, absolutely, but there are a lot of places in the country where that would literally just not be possible. It would just be completely untenable, you know? Yamero. Yamero means stop in Japanese. Thank you. Thank you, comrade, for the $50. I really, really appreciate it. Glad your dick's all clean. And Carlo with the 20 Australian. They're not real dollars, but I love having 20 of them. Thank you, Carlo. Well, actually, 1333 of them. Because, no. 20. 14 of them. because YouTube keeps a 30% cut. Carlo, thank you so much for the 20 Australian. Here, have some money. You're a certified mad cunt. That's a good thing in Aussie speak. I've been to Australia. I know. Here, I'll even say it in your voice. Here, have some money. You're a certified mad cunt. That's a thing that Australia speak. That's how you talk. That's what you sound like to me. And you gave me fake money. Fuck you. Trying on with the $5. Someone please tell me why I've been talking with and debating libs, chuds, and scolds in YouTube chat for the whole stream. Or better yet, just kill me now in Minecraft. Bonus meme, ayaya. Ayaya indeed, comrade. I don't know why you would venture into the hellscape that is YouTube chat. Hey, wait, really quick. YouTube chat, I'm looking at you. Really quick. Why aren't you on the website? I'm not giving you shit or anything. You can be where you want to be, okay? But, like, why aren't you on the website? It's got, like, so much cool shit. And all of your words get, like, suspended perpetually in the VOD, you know? YouTube chat's still catching up for me. Sometimes when you haven't visited YouTube in a while, like the page, the chat takes a while to catch up. Mobile cucked, mobile users, mobile. I'm pretty sure my site works on mobile. Yeah, look, it goes, and then you click stream. Now we're here. Now you hit play. I'm going to show my phone to you in the stream on the phone. See? It's going to continue forever. As long as I hold my hand up, it's recursive. It lags a ton? I don't know, maybe. Whatever. Don't worry about it. You can be where you want to be, okay? I love you guys. Stay strong. Good luck with the Nazis. You can't chat while watching them? That's true, I guess. Embeds on Safari ruin the CPU. Oh yeah, I have Chrome on my phone because it's, you know. Huh. Well, whatever. We can work on it. This boy talks with the $5. Could you elaborate a little more on the native point with reparations, specifically in the U.S.? At least native groups I feel are cared about so little. Oh yeah, native groups are like super fucked. In the U.S., right? I haven't done much research on it, so I'm mostly working off intuition and half knowledge here, but I'm pretty sure that native groups are really, really fucked. Not just on the reservations, but off the reservations too. Guys, help White Nervosa live. Where's the fucking White Nervosa exclamation point tag? Hyena, deploy. What do you think about Andrew Yang and universal reparations? Wait, by universal reparations, do you mean UBI? I don't like Andrew Yang. Well, anyway, yeah, I think they're like super fucked. The problem is I don't think the US government can really give reparations to like reservations because they're not technically like the US government. Guys, for real though, White Nervosa is like the biggest, bestest fucking memer, okay? If you can help White Nervosa out, I would really ask that you do so. I pay White Nervosa, of course, but White Nervosa wants to do like full-time like tech support work and like website handling and management for lefties and lefty streamers, and that's really fucking cool. White Nervosa single-handedly built the website that I'm using right now, obviously with some help, but you know. And Lewis with the $3. How do I clean my ass for anal sex? Please help a poor repressed Zoomer. Okay. Unironically, let's talk about anal prep. Yeah, she snuck into Destiny's house and stole White Nervosa, and stole the website, stole the Vosh.gg prototype. Okay, let's do it. Anal cleaning, okay? Listen, if you're doing anal, listen. Nope, sorry, Hyena. This is my time, all right? You've got your own stream soon. Okay, listen. This is the hole, okay? And this is going in, all right? Now, the problem is these two fingers have now entered the poop stone, all right? This is all poop now. All this whole world is all made of poop. Okay? You want as little poop as possible, okay? So how do you do this? All right? So for one, if you really want to go like full fucking balls to the wall clean, get a fucking anal douche, okay? Just douche your ass, okay? You literally just like go in the fucking toilet and you blast your ass and then you shit water out, okay? But you should not do that all the time, okay? This is like a romantic like after after a nice after a nice date, that's what you want to go for with that, okay? The problem is that the inside of your colon and intestines and stuff has like bacteria that are necessary for stuff. Shut the fuck up. So you don't want to do that all the time, It's if you splash all that shit away, if you do like a douche like fucking 4 times a week, it's gonna be bad. All right. Poop bacteria is essential. Now, most of the time, what you want to do instead is you want to schedule your fucking eating. Okay. What is the appeal of getting poop on my dick? Well, that's not the appeal for most people. The appeal for anal mostly doesn't like have anything to do with the poop part. How to clean your ass.wordpress.com. A direct source. Oh, I can't show that on stream. Wow, this sure cannot be shown on stream. This makes me not want to have anal sex. This makes me not want to do it. There is a talking poop. Anyway. But so that's douching. Okay, that's that thing. But normally for most people who do anal, I'm pretty sure they just don't eat a lot of food before the sex. I'm pretty sure that's the process for a lot of them, I like when I talk to bottoms, they just like don't eat, and then because the big meme is like when you're talking to bottoms, they'll be like, I have a date tonight, can't eat or whatever, and then the date cancels, and they'll be like, oh, the date canceled, thank God, and then they just fucking eat everything they've been missing that entire day, Yeah, you don't want to eat right before. You can eat like right before anal sex, because it would still be in your stomach then. But if you're eating like 30, 40 minutes before anal sex, you're basically asking your fucking dick partner or whatever partner to meet your meal, You're gonna shit on someone's chest. Who the fuck wants to eat 5 minutes before anal? Well, that's that's actually the real meme, really quick. We can actually construct a diagram. No, I don't have any spare paper towels around here, okay? So, the real secret to successful anal sex is to really, really get the best out of it, is you want to eat about an hour beforehand, okay? And you want a lot of fiber, okay? All right, but not too much fiber. You want like a nice solid log, and then when you're getting dick down, you have now doubled the length of the penetration. It's incredible. You've never experienced this before. Before, you feel it like up. You feel it like if here's like the height of the human, you're feeling it like here. Now you're feeling it like this. You're feeling like the in thrust. You feel that shit in your fucking throat. Oh boy. You feel it in your mouth. You can gag up a little bit of his shit. Any oral sex tips? What? No? Fuck oral sex. What? Who cares? It's all about the feet, baby. I'm not into feet. What are we doing right now? Where is life? We keep up with donos. Timoteo with the tier 2 sub. Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, comrade. You've inspired me to improve the vigor of my arguments and engage with centrists to pull them to our side. Also, I'm proud of you for changing your shirt. God, I've worn this shirt on stream before. I wear like 10 different shirts on stream. We can fuck it out, okay? So here are the anime shirts, okay? The red sneakers anime shirt. The girls anime shirt. The date night anime shirt. The Oni anime shirt. Then we've got the raw shirt. The white stripe shirt. The white leave shirt. We've got the raw. I already did the raw. We've got the fucking white D&D shirt. We've got the black D&D shirt. We have the I literally have like a dozen streams, a dozen shirts that I rotate between streams. People keep saying like you only wear the same shirt. Man, fuck you. I fucking This is Antifa Vosh now. And yet all we see is the same 2 or 3. Then you need to fucking churn into more streams, okay? Thanks, Timoteo Tomato. Bryce Frank with the $2. Thank you, comrade. And Martian Orbit with the 5-something. Thoughts on Porcelain's documentaries on the alt-right? I'm terribly sorry, Martian Orbit, but I'm afraid I haven't seen those. I have no idea what those are, or who Porcelain is. I don't even know what the alt-right is. I am utterly lost now. Why are you wearing t-shirts going into winter? Do you need a supply drop of quilts and jumpers? No, I've actually got a bunch of flannel shirts and jackets and coats and everything, you know? Yeah, true, K-Prime. Vosh, how do you eat pussy? Wait, for real? Somniostatic, I replied to the Burgess versus Destiny 1 in detail, you fuck. What the fuck, Somnio? Why would you donate then leave? Alright. Are you ready? I love you, Somniostatic. Is this now an incel stream? Absolutely. We're going to title our stream Incels Rise Up, okay? Here's the pussy eating tips, okay? Alright. Wait, why is everyone saying, oh no, don't do this? What the fuck are you talking about, okay? Listen, it's the easiest shit in the world. Some people are like, oh, eating pussy is so hard. Oh, it's so complicated. There's so much technique. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, you guys. Such children. The poll? Oh. Yeah, no, I like the beard. Fuck you guys. I might actually, if I ever get like shredded, I might shave the beard because then maybe I'd have like a cool cheekbone thing or whatever. I've actually got a pretty like decent jawline. You can like probably see, like the beard is like basically hugging my face here. Whatever the case may be. Okay, listen. Harder than sucking dick, you top? Anyone who believes eating pussy is harder than sucking dick is a fucking moron. I don't want to hear from you, fucking hyena. You have barely any experience eating pussy. Listen. Sucking dick is way more hard, way more fucking difficult than eating pussy. 100%. Eating pussy is the easiest shit in the world. Watch this. Here's all you gotta do, okay? First, okay, you gotta fucking kiss down from the belly to the pussy. Bitches love that shit, okay? Bitches get soaked for the belly line, all right? Absolutely. They get fucking splashed, all right? Then you go on in, okay? You do big lick, all right? Okay, listen, I'm not talking like a little fucking bullet. Well, none of that shit. You get fucking big fucking tongue out, okay? And then you smash that tongue against the pussy, and you just from top to bottom, okay? Big, slow, just fucking lead it up, all right? Okay? And then once you've got everything fucking nice and gooped around down there, once everything's properly separated, you've got all of your linens in order, all right? Everything's like fucking gooped proper, all right? Then You go in for the fucking 2 fingers up curling motion, rub the G spot, and you focus mostly on the clit, and you occasionally do big licks. All right, that's what you do. Okay, you do, and you do that with this. Okay, and easily anyone will come. Okay, easy. Oh yeah, and watch your fucking nails. Okay, now do dick. I don't know who sucks dick. That's fucking gay. Can you explain sucking dick? No, I can't. That's what hyena's for, okay? How do we suck a dick? Guys, I don't know. What the fuck? I don't suck dick. That's gay. Where is the clit on the bussy? The clit of the asshole is the hemorrhoid. Yes, Bogade Marquise. You're full of so much shit. Fuck you, non-authority. I know what I'm on about. All right. Hyena's fine at sucking dick, I suppose. She's acceptable. She passes. How to bottom? Nah, guys, you're so fucking horny. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Holy shit. I'm not talking about sex anymore. You people are too horny. Half the chat has their fucking genitals in hand. I'm not dealing with it. You people need to get yourselves under control. This is a serious political stream. We deal with serious political issues here. I'm new with the $1. Your Twitter DMs aren't open. How can I message you in other ways? Discord DMs or most effectively emails, because I respond to pretty much every email. voshvidya@gmail.com. Why am I so tired? It's because I'm hungry. It's 5 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything today. No wonder. I need some fucking burritos. Hyena, what's the burrito status? I'm abandoned. Whatever. I'm pooping? Hyena! Where the fuck is the burrito at? I want fucking burritos! Haven't even fucking begun making them. Okay, we're stuck with stream for a little while longer. What are we doing? What's happening? What are we looking at? What's up on Twitter? We're a React Andy now. We're React Andy. I'm tired. I want my fucking burrito tendies. What's going on? Uh-oh. Destiny's up top. Can I say one thing about the Joker movie? I can understand literally every single line of dialogue without it being blasted at a soundtrack or background noise or anything. I appreciate that these days. No idea what the fuck he's talking about. LSD or mushrooms? Okay. Damascus steel elf blade. Fucking following these nerds. Oh! Oh no! Boobies! Alright. Nice. Fucking it up. Yeah. An H Bomber Guy tweet. Should I recommend the chair that I use? What chair do I use? What chair do I use? Does it say on the side? It's like the Serta iComfort i70 or something. Is it this? This feels right. Yep, that looks right. Yep, this is it. Jesus Christ. Well, at least the link didn't break. God. Alright. Oh! Oh no! More fucking Destiny scroll drama. Let's look. Oh no! Ah!
Bro,
No test.
we're
Start
going
tomorrow?
fucking
Right now.
real
Let's do it
hard.
right now.
We're
Right now.
going real hard.
Right now. Let's
What-
throw up some games. Let's
Wait,
just throw up some games.
It's
right
not like
now.
you're with friends though.
No, fuck those faggots.
Whoa! Whoa! I'm streaming!
Whoa.
Whoa!
No,
No! 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 Mister, no! I don't even know who I was just talking to. Oh wait, that wasn't the guy that I thought it was. Bro,
No test.
we're
Start
going
tomorrow?
fucking
Right now.
real
Let's do it
hard.
right now.
We're
Right now.
going real hard.
Right now. Let's
What-
throw up some games.
Wait,
Wait, are you guys ass pained over a $400 chair? Guys, I have a back injury from deadlifting a while back. I needed a really good chair. Also, $400 is not that expensive of a chair. He later went on to blame me on this. Do you want the clip? Wait, yeah, totally, Dairy Cypher. Fuck it up. Let's see. Saudi Arabia genocidal campaign beheaded 37 people. Bastion of Freedom. New video would be nice. Did this actually happen? Yo?
Do you have the ibuprofen?
Yeah? Here.
Way to have an exchange.
Baby! Baby, hello! No! Yeah, you're stuck in here now. Oh my god. Oh, mad. Balding. Ah! You're too young to go bald. No! Ah, he wants freedom! So grumpy. At least say hello to stream. You can do that much. Tell him you love him. Malding baby.
Hey, hon. Are you releasing him?
He's malding, dude.
Just let him run.
He's seething.
I just came here to tell you that I went and tried to take the meds, and you said he's malding, and I laughed. And water and meds tried to shoot out my nose. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I see water all over your boobies.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I love you.
Love you. I'm making a burrito.
Well. So as we were doing.
Oh no, that wasn't me, by the way. Whoever. Wait, don't watch that. Streamable clip.
Bro,
No test.
we're going
tomorrow?
fucking.
legit about
No, it has the. It wasn't me, but.
Damn, that guy really trolled me that day.
It really did.
Did we ever figure out who that was?
I think it was
Derry.
It was RGBA. It was Derry. That's who, and that's why he's banned. There it is. Can you not? I'm gonna get a million.
Damn. You got him, Derry. Good trolling. Alright. No, it was Moon who said it. Moon's just saying like he got mad because of Derry. Fuck me. Smarf with the $10. Thank you. What do you think of Jane Elliott or Colonel West? Would you ever try to have a discussion with either? Feel like there isn't enough focus on peeps like this. There apparently isn't, because I have no idea who either of those people are. Jane Elliott or Colonel West? I mean, I guess I'm not opposed on principle to having a discussion with them. Araxia with the $4. Here's to make good on the weird conversion rate of my shitty fake communist dollars. Also, using your points while arguing with non-Americans is like arguing with babbies. The right in Europe is playing a shitty game of telephone of US talking points. Hey! America leads the world yet again. That's what I'm saying. Europe isn't even a real place, my boys. Europe is fake and canceled. Thank you, Araxio. Insomnio Static with $5. Thank you. Do you think that most leftist content creators think you're alt-right adjacent in the sense that you are right-leaning? Because I don't understand that. Like Lance's scoop 'em up content. I think a lot of them do think I'm pretty right-leaning, yeah, which is pretty dumb. But I don't think that Lance thinks that I'm like right-leaning or anything like that. I think that Lance's comment like could be interpreted that way, but I don't think that's the case. I think that Lance understands that I'm very far left. I reach far right. That's what I do. I am very far left, but I grab my big hand. What's that meme? You know? I reach out real hard to get him. Let's see. Trans rights. Oh, okay. Nice meme. More Destiny stuff. The alt-centrist Twitch streamer Destiny Bonello. I love it. Alt-centrist. I don't know what that means, by the way. Non-authority. I don't believe you've donated. If you have, I missed it. Why don't I have a company? Snee.
So I didn't actually DMCA anything. I just typed this in chat to see if she was actually watching. Holy shit. How obsessed. Oh my god. I wasn't even streaming and she's in my chat. Oh my god.
Oh,
You think I have
non-authority.
time to
Type
go
out
through
the dono
Twitter
again.
and fucking file reports that shit? You know how long that takes? Maybe for Keemstar. Not for this squirrel bitch. Damn.
Well,
Where's that at? Hey, you post dumb shit.
Destiny. DMCA Destiny, I can't play his clip or he might take my stream down because he takes everyone down.
Do I really?
oh, this is Brittany Venti. That's not fucking relevant. Jesus Christ. Good lord. Don't worry, just keeping up with the drama, boys. Destiny just seems like such a shithead. I mean, he has his moments, yeah. He really has his moments. Wait, what? Donald Trump drags us down to Chinatown. Oh yeah, non-authority. Once Halloween's done, the Spyro trilogy. Not Crash Bandicoot. I have never liked Crash Bandicoot. The Spyro trilogy is something that I've wanted to play on stream for sure. Do you think the VOD will get demonetized if I play that song? What is it called? Hold on. What is that song? The fucking you know this one?
Sneak peek.
This fucking bop?
be who? You know what? Maybe I too could be ninja. I want to be ninja. I want to be ninja. I want to chop, 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 chow down. Take chow down to Chinatown. I want to be ninja. I started training hard.
This might not be in the fucking this fucking content ID system. We can keep listening.
I think I could go far. I am a natural. That's matter factual. I learned to chop real hard. I fight with credit card. I use my nunchucks even while feeding ducks. I throw my ninja star also very far. I do karate moves with a go-go woo. I learn my ninja kicks while watching Netflix. I try to do everything like on the big screen.
The best part of the entire video is the Asian woman standing here with her hands clasped, patiently watching with a look of disappointment on her face.
And you guys, you know what? I might do it. I might be a ninja soon. I gonna be ninja. I gonna be ninja. I gonna chop, chop, chop chow down. Take chow down to Chinatown. I gonna be ninja. I practice every day. I practice every way. I don't always do. This is getting confess. I catch a flying tick with my chopstick. I take down anyone. This is getting fun. You guys, I think I almost a ninja. I almost a ninja. I almost a ninja.
The actual best part of all of this is the fact that this is the wife of a mattress store owner. And she wanted her debut. And they did it at the opening of a mattress store. This was a party with a bunch of business execs for a mattress store coming together. And the guy's wife was like, this is it. I'm not joking, I assume. I'm actually being completely serious right now. Look. Wait, we're almost done with the song. The climax.
I took down Chow at last! Oh, yes, I did! I took down Chow!
Look at the fucking faces. Look at all the white people. Look at all the white people.
Oh, yes, I did! I took
The Asian lady.
down Chow! I finally ninja. I finally ninja. I got to chop, chop, chop chow down. Take chow down to Chinatown. I finally ninja.
The Asian lady not. Oh, it's such a bop. Anyway, to confirm. See? Get your Jennifer Murphy bed today at JenniferMurphyBeds.com. Wait, is she actually the CEO? Oh, when did I mute myself? That's weird. Wait, when did I mute myself? Huh. This is a good ass meme right here. I got to be careful with my muting hotkeys. I have like one of them, like so. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? That's just a really good meme. That's all. It just reminded me of this. Oh my god, it's still going. I feel good about it, Kanga. Embrace that Zoomer bloodline. Hmm. About halfway through, when Joker starts killing people and monologuing about how society's evil, he starts clapping really loudly and incessantly for a good minute. People started yelling for him to shut up, but he kept clapping and cheering like mad. Started doing it again really loudly during a climactic gunfight. Security escorted him out. Is this really ABC News worthy? One guy was like really loud in a theater and got escorted out by security? That's it? Guys, wait, just really quickly. Really quickly. Am I wrong? Or is this like, is this incel shooting fear about the Joker like a complete like media manufactured controversy? Like 100%. It's like, it's fear hysteria. Yeah, this really feels like some fucking co-intel shit. I see all these fucking media outlets nonstop who are talking about how the Joker movie inspired the incel shootings. People have to be worried, and people on Twitter are all like, getting my fucking gat and heading to the Joker movie, or other people are like, I've got my Kevlar vest on for the Joker screening. Me and the boys all showing up. 3 tickets for the Joker, please. And it's like 3 people in like SWAT tactical gear, you know? I see this like all over the place, and I have no idea where it came from. I don't know how much of it is the people who are running the movie promoting it to get the controversy so they get more people watching it. How much of it is the mainstream media deliberately like hyperbolizing fears surrounding the movie for clicks, and how much of it is like dipshitty, like edgy incel alt-righters online who are playing into that stereotype and making memes about it to facilitate fears that they want to capitalize on by pretending the media is over-exaggerating it. I feel like it's all 3. I feel like it's 3 groups full of bullshit who are collaborating to construct this narrative. Yeah, it feels like such a big media push. I don't even know if I would know about the Joker movie. Like, I wouldn't care about it at all if it weren't for this massive fucking media storm over it. Joking about it is pretty funny, though. Yeah, it is pretty funny. It's pretty fucking funny. Yeah, everyone there is just like trying to make a buck off of it. The movie promoters get free advertising. The media sites get free clicks. And the alt-righters and like other people that other groups are like actually worried about get the fame and notoriety that they benefit from because it increases recruitment. They also get like a narrative that the media is like lying about them, you know? Send you TM with a picture and how to host. Bad Bunny is streaming right now too. Wait, Derry, you don't have anything to do with the web. Wait, yes you are. You're a mod. Oh, wait a second. I just got a message from the Surfs. Hold on. If you were looking at chat, like some of the JLP interview, nah, fuck you. Have I seen the Joker? I have not seen the Joker. Yeah, wait. How do I host? Hold on. Where's Darius Cypher? Wait. Well, Pig Puncher, are you streaming right now? Anthony Fantano doesn't want to talk to me, unfortunately. I don't think so. I think Anthony Fantano thought a lot less of me after the Thought Slime drama. Wait, Darius Cypher, do I have to give... Wait, what link do I provide? Do I provide the full link, or just like the key, the string of numbers and letters at the end? Oh, that's good. Oh, so just the link, Darius Cypher. What is Bad Bunny up to? I'm getting hangry. I ain't got a fucking dip. Hold on. Piotr Online with the $2. Please just shoot me. Done and done, comrade. Pew pew. And Balthazar 228 with $5. You know, if you had a PO box, I could send you this nice Elgato stream deck that could allow you to see when your mute button was on with visual feedback. Nice meme. I promise I'll get a PO box soon. Okay, only a few more months. I love you, buddy. Hey, thank you for the $5. All right, hold the fuck on. Should have been a good ally, Vosh. Fuck off. Who do you think will win the 1972 presidential election? I have no fucking idea. Wasn't that like Lyndon Johnson or something? Lyndon B. Johnson?
Moderators are awesome.
They're helping you build a community.
Dependable.
They keep our communities safe.
Moderators are unsung heroes.
When I first heard that Miller Lite was
I have like
choosing to
2
support
mods and both of them are
moderators, I was really
cucks.
excited.
They're the first brand to think about the moderators.
Seeing Miller Lite hail the moderators, it's a really cool thing to see, so thank you. Cheers to the moderators.
This is such a weird partnership.
Yeah. Would you like me to elaborate on why it's not the same thing?
Okay, go ahead.
Jesus Christ, Bad Bunny looks like such a fucking
so
hipster.
Capitalism is not, when your participation in capitalism is a thing that is unavoidable. You cannot avoid capitalism if you're living in the modern day. You can try to fight it like what you are doing. So this is the most that you can probably do under capitalism is try to be less consumption-y, right? Definitely don't try to exploit people under it as much as you can, and try to make sure that we move toward a system.
Yeah, we'll be hosting Bad Bunny.
Capitalist.
I'm gonna see if I can do it really quick. Wait, let me see if it's possible. I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try. We have to host people after stream, guys. A big part of building Lefty Unity is collaborating with other content creators and fucking slapping. Wait, what did you just say, White Nervosa? Oh, White Nervosa, I don't gotta host nobody. If you're gonna update the site, that's more important. I care more about that. Fuck Bad Bunny. I'll say it in chat then. Guys, we can do an informal host. Guys, I'm fucking sleepy. By which I mean I'm hungry. I got the wrong adjective there. Look, I'm posting in chat. That's Bad Bunny. Get up there. Get in there. Get the fuck in there. Twitch.tv Bad Bunny. Twitch.tv Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny has always been super cool and nice. We love Bad Bunny here, okay? Don't we, folks? Also, she lives in Seattle. Maybe I can see her sometime. And unlike Destiny, when I hang out with other streamers, I'm not questing, all right? I'm just there for the good lefty praxis. Or host through my site, yeah. Anyway, folks, I love you. Oh, hell yeah, Derry. I love you. I love you all very much. You beautiful people. Phenomenal, really. Extraordinary. Before I go, Balthazar 228 with the $5. Did you see Matt Orphelia's Bernie ad? I'll take a look, then I'll dip. Bro, 9698 with the $1. Do you have a response to the marshmallow test that Race Real Estate used? I'm not familiar with the Race Real Estate.
Getting into the presidential race.
Democrats
like somebody new.
Oh! This is a fucking $5 advertisement. $5, sorry. It was a $5 advertisement because you gave me $5, but it's also 5 minutes! I ain't got time for that. I'll get fucking DMCA'd or some shit. I don't know. Hey, I'll watch it myself. I love you all very much. You're beautiful. You are bristling with sexual energy. I could come just by whispering your name. Unless you're underage. If that's the case, that's not true. Fuck you. Have a wonderful day. You mean a lot to me. I'll see you all soon, okay?